Liquor, wine, spirits, beer, and so much more. And we will focus on the Seattle Krakens. Jordan Eberle, who spent 7 seasons in Edmonton, of course, played for the Regina Pats, came to the Oilers, signed a contract extension for a couple of years. He's played over 1,000 games now in the NHL. And there's 10 minutes to face off. This is the Rogers Game Night on the Oilers Radio Network.
Looking for custom flags, banners, or canopy tents? Aurora Flags and Banners has a dedicated team to provide you with custom solutions and quality products. Aurora Flags has proudly serviced Canadian businesses and organizations for more than 30 years. Get a quote today at auroraflags.com.
Experience the exciting casino action in 3 Century Casino locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. Dine at one of their amazing restaurants featuring daily specials. Take in the ultimate game day experience at the Century Sports Bar and Lounge. Check out the best in live entertainment at any amazing location. Plus, enjoy a great selection of casino gaming options and off-track betting. Feel the thrill of live horse racing at Century Mile Racetrack. Don't miss a second of the action at Century Casino. Come for the action. Stay for the fun.
Looking for custom flags, banners, or canopy tents? Aurora Flags and Banners has a dedicated team to provide you with custom solutions and quality products. Aurora Flags has proudly serviced Canadian businesses and organizations for more than 30 years. Get a quote today at auroraflags.com.
This is Oilers Rewind on the Oilers Radio Network.
Here's Draisaitl right down the middle. Cranks it, scores! Rips it upstairs on the slap shot. The Oilers get the first goal of the shootout, just as you had predicted or alluded to. Now Arvidsson picks it up. Arvidsson to the right side. Back to the middle. He'll go to the backhand. Scores! Arvidsson will win it for the Oilers here in the shootout. A lot of patience on that play by Victor Arvidsson, waiting for Lankinen to go down to the ice, lift it over him on the backhand, and the Oilers will win this one 3-2 in a shootout.
Welcome back, everybody. Rogers Game Night. Let's go to Legacy Heating and Cooling. Who's hot and who's not? Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home and no payments and no interest for a year. Connor McDavid will play his 4th preseason game. He's got 5 points in the first 3. He's got points in all 3 games. Out of town scoreboard for Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. We will tell you. Winnipeg and Calgary tied at 2. That's in the 3rd. Florida wins 2-1 over Tampa Bay in overtime. Nashville 6-4 victors in Carolina. Later tonight, Utah at Anaheim. Edmonton Oil Kings in Brandon on Friday. WHL action. Stay tuned following the game for the Alberta Blue Cross Travel Insurance goal of the game. Health, dental, travel. We've got the coverage you need. Visit ab.bluecross.ca. 7 minutes to face off. This is Rogers Game Night on the Oilers Radio Network.
Businesses deserve the best protection against cyber threats. Alltech offers state-of-the-art IT and cybersecurity solutions to safeguard digital assets. The team of experts at Alltech are dedicated to providing the highest level of security, ensuring that data remains safe and operations are seamless. With Alltech, businesses can focus on growth while the rest is handled. From advanced threat detection to comprehensive data security, Alltech has it covered. Choose Alltech for reliable and effective cybersecurity. Visit alt-tech.ca now to learn more.
It's game on at City Ford. With an all-star lineup of 2024 Ford favorites, save up to $5,000 on Escapes, up to $6,000 on Bronco Sports, and up to $16,000 on F-150s. Plus, find 0% financing options available on all 3 vehicles. Score an all-star deal today and spin and win an iPad, Oilers merch, Costco card, even a trip to Vegas. Visit City Ford on the St. Albert Trail.
You're listening to Rogers Game Night on the official voice of the Edmonton Oilers, 630 CHED, and on the Oilers Radio Network.
We got 1 game left to really. I don't think it's going to be a finished product for. We're going to be in that process for a while, but he's starting to see some glimpses of how we're playing and how the guys want to play and our competitiveness, and that has continued to build throughout camp. And Game 6 will be a chance really to do it with a roster that's close to the starting day lineup.
Last preseason game for Seattle. The Oilers with their 7th and their 2nd last tonight. Bob Stauffer with you. We bring aboard inside the game analyst Rob Brown. Rob, at this point, are the veterans just looking forward to grinding away, or are they looking to elevate this up?
I think they're looking looking to elevate it up, Bob. I do. I think Connor McDavid's talked about the fact he wanted more reps. He wanted to start getting into sync with his line mates and with his teammates. I think the second line did not have a good game the other night, and they want to get off to a good start to begin the season. I think they're going to want to be better. And in all honesty, the Henrique line, I don't think we've seen the best of them yet. We saw what they're capable of doing in the playoffs last year, but again, this is a guy, I mean, Brown's been a healthy scratch last year. Janmark at times was a healthy scratch last year, so I think they want to start gelling together too. So I think you're going to see a group of very engaged players up front for the Edmonton Oilers today, because they do not want anything close to a resemblance of the start of last season. They want to be going much better. So I think that you're going to see a good Oiler effort tonight.
All right, a couple guys we're watching as we go to the Ford Keys of the game. The official partner of the Edmonton Oilers, built Ford proud. An opportunity here for Noah Philp, fourth line right shot center. Drake Kajula still in training camp, went down fairly early last year, and Travis Dermott in on a PTO. Josh Brown as well, and there's a fair amount of scrutiny out there in OilCountry right now on Brown.
Well, and all four of those players, Phillips trying to make the rosters their 13th forward, and if you took away salary cap, waivers, all of that, he should be here. He's been very good. That's what his goal is. Drake Kajula has been very good in training camp. What I think he's trying to become is your first call-up. I think he's had an excellent camp, and he's proven that he can still play at this level. So for him, one more opportunity to say, hey, there's an injury, bring me up. On the back end, Dermott's trying to get a contract. And the fact that he's playing on the right side with Nurse shows me that they're saying, okay, is he capable if we need someone on the right side? Can he play over there? So I think this is a great opportunity for him to earn a contract. And the last one, Josh Brown, to me, has been passed on the depth chart by Dermott, by Stetcher, by Emberson. I think he needs a bounce-back game. I think the play with the puck for him needs to improve here tonight and possibly Friday night as well.
More with Rob Brown and Bryn Griffiths coming up at the end of the roll. First and second intermissions. Jack Michaels will have the call up next. It's the Edmonton Oilers and Seattle Kraken, live from Climate Pledge Arena on Fort Oilers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Every month, I give the gift of sight. By donating to Operation Eyesight, an organization working to restore and preserve vision in the developing world, I help prevent blindness. I know that every month, I've helped another person see again. It's a great feeling. Won't you share that with me? For a donation as small as $30, you can restore a blind person's sight. Together, we can change lives. To learn how to give the gift of sight, please visit operationeyesight.com.
Chemco is building industry across Canada, and now they're on the lookout for civil and electrical project managers, estimators, and superintendents to join their dedicated team. Why Chemco? Because Chemco cares. They put people first, offering top-tier compensation packages and an unwavering commitment to safety. At Chemco, safety isn't just a priority, it's everybody's business. Ready to be part of a team that truly values you? Visit chemco.com/careers today.
The Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation 50-50, presented by Rogers, is back and bigger than ever. The largest 50-50 in sports offers early bird draws, bonus raffles, and a main jackpot, which is growing by the second. With over $100 million invested across OilCountry, your support directly helps kids, families, and communities in need. Maybe you'll be our next winner. Get your tickets right now at EdmontonOilers.com and help make OilCountry a better place.
AGLC license number 696879.
Everyone has the right to live without fear, hurt, abuse, and violence. If you or someone you know are suffering with family or domestic violence, it's time to speak out. Call the Family Violence Info Line at 310-1818 or 911 if in immediate danger.
Stand free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rattling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Now, tonight's exclusive NHL broadcast.
There he shoots and scores.
Now it's Draisaitl off to Connor McDavid. Centers Kane for the hat trick. He scores.
All the action called by the voices who know the game inside and out.
This crowd explodes.
Bob Stauffer and Jack Michaels on the Oilers Radio Network.
Penultimate preseason games from sunny Seattle. It's Climate Pledge Arena and the Edmonton Oilers and the Seattle Kraken, who will play their final preseason game, will clash in a matchup of Pacific Division rivals. The Oilers have dominated the 3 regular seasons in which Seattle has competed, winning 6 in a row, 9 of 11. This is preseason tilt number 7 for the Oilers, and it starts with a face-off from Adam Henrique against Manny Beniers, and we're underway from the Emerald City. Alongside Bob Stauffer, I'm Jack Michaels from our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth location, high atop Climate Pledge Arena, set down from street level. A couple stories. Of course, Henrique flanked by Matthias Janmark and Connor Brown, who has the puck behind the Seattle net and whirls it around to Brett Kulak, who starts the game with Josh Brown on defense. A centering pass was tipped away by Beniers. Henrique will keep it down low, and now Brown tried to sneak it inside, where it's collected on a deflection by Brandon Tanev, who jumps up and plays on Seattle's top line tonight due to an interesting situation developing in the pregame warm-up as the Oilers clear through the middle. Jared McCann, Seattle's top goal scorer the last couple years, 29 a year ago, he tweaks something, lower body, unable to go. Tanev moves up, and John Hayden enters as a fourth-line left wing for the Seattle Kraken with a breakout pass up the left-hand side of the 6'7" Jamie Alexiak. Darnell Nurse making his preseason debut for Edmonton, playing alongside Travis Dermott. A turnover by Jeff Skinner and a quick feed down low to one of the 2 prized offseason acquisitions for Seattle, Chandler Stevenson. Does not pan out, though. Draisaitl, the steal, got it back from Skinner, and he's over the line with Arvidsson. Tried to curl it back to Victor Arvidsson, and now it's chipped up the right-hand side by Alexiak and fielded by Andrei Burakovsky, who's one of several Seattle forwards looking for a bounce-back season after their shooting percentage collectively dropped from 11.5 to 9 last year. The end result, a game under 500, and it cost Dave Haxtell his job. Matthias Ekholm on a reset for Edmonton. Your starting lineup for the Oilers, with Ekholm and Bouchard getting a quick shift to begin the game, brought to you by our friends at Coventry Home. Shane Wright for the Seattle Kraken, then the one-time 4th overall pick with a shot steered aside by Olivier Rodrigue, who makes another save on a shot from Will Borgen, and that's grabbed by Connor McDavid. Up the right-hand side, he'll feed it. Hyman's centering pass finds Ekholm left circle, a quick shot, and that was tipped up over top and taken on the plexiglass, and Hyman will be whistled for a hold as he ragdolled Eli Tolvanen to the ice. Time of the penalty, 2 minutes, 17 seconds. It's Jack and Bob and Coventry Homes, of course, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers, offering flexibility within reach. Get back in the game with customizable designs by Coventry Homes. Hyman for a hold. Bob, we talked about what Edmonton might bring to the table tonight in terms of a full lineup. And essentially, outside of Philp and Kajula, you can make an argument everyone in the lineup tonight has a chance to play a week from tonight against Winnipeg.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Travis Termont in on a PTO. He needs to be signed, Jack.
Correct.
But you're talking about the
But he still has a shot.
They all got a shot. I'd say Phillips got a shot, too. We'll see
to
here.
play against Winnipeg. Okay.
Never know.
He certainly had a strong preseason. The Oilers on the Napa Auto Parts penalty kill to start. A length of the ice cleared by Darnell Nurse. That's fielded on one bounce. Nurse, Ekholm, Nugent Hopkins, and Derek Ryan are the penalty killers. Ryan, of course, playing in his home state. Grew up in Spokane, a couple hours from Seattle. Twisted back to the point by Beniers. Shot Bjorkstrand and a save made by Olivier Rodrigue. Getting the chance to play tonight because Calvin Pickard got banged up when these two teams met on Saturday night. Edmonton rallied to win that game 5-4. Pickard left about 10 minutes in. Here's a quick dish. Bjorkstrand is shot, juggled, and held for Olivier Rodrigue. It's his fourth preseason appearance. He's played to a save percentage of .833. What's on the line for him tonight? Olivier Rodrigue, I'm talking about.
And you could say similar to Philp, right? If you're not on the team here for day one, you're sending a message for the future that you're an option. And, Rodrigue's, clearly now the organizational number 3 goaltender. We know that. He needs to have a solid performance.
Shane Wright, clean face-off win. Burakovsky to Montour, the other prized off-season acquisition. 7 years, $50 million for a guy who was instrumental in Florida's Stanley Cup win over Edmonton last June. Henrique off the draw to Victor Arvidsson. Talented and dangerous penalty killers coming off ice. Of course, Henrique coming off a career-high 51 points a year ago. Combined numbers with Jersey and Edmonton. Chandler Stevenson. Won a cup in Vegas, won a cup in Washington, and now he's here in Seattle at age 30, first of a 7-year deal at $43 million. But here he's stripped by Henrique, and it's launched down the ice, and that leaves just a half minute on the Seattle power play. We're scoreless about 4 minutes in at Climate Pledge Arena on a gorgeous afternoon in Seattle, Washington. Temperature about plus 20, and nary a cloud in the sky. Sent in deep by Adam Larsson, the one-time Oiler. Chipped away by Matthias Ekholm, trying to muscle that puck out, and as he normally does, Janmark succeeds, nudging it back inside the Seattle blue line, and that will be all for the Kraken power play. Seattle 1-3-1 in the preseason. They were beaten in overtime by Calgary on Monday. That same night, of course, Edmonton bested Vancouver in a shootout 3-2. Good play by Skinner up the wall. Now Nurse to McDavid, and he whistles one high glove, but just wide. Rebound taken by Hyman. Coming off the wall, left circle, feeds Draisaitl. Draisaitl, McDavid on the ice after the successful kill. Draisaitl cross ice. That eluded Hyman, but not Nurse. Sharp angle shot, juggled and held by Philip Grubauer. And that's the story for Seattle, Bob. When I look at the Kraken, and it's been this way for a couple of years right now, their goaltending clearly holding them back, and it's again the story this preseason with both Grubauer and Decord sub 900 in the preseason.
It's crazy. You look at Grubauer, the 3 years he's been below 900, all 3 years in Seattle. He's got a career 911.
He was 918 in Colorado over the same 3-year stretch.
Crazy.
And he just hasn't found it. Not even close. Cleared up the left-hand side by Alexiak off the draw. We're back at 5-on-5. Edmonton in the white, outlined in orange and blue. This will be an icing call against Evan Bouchard and the Oilers, with 5 minutes having elapsed in this first period. Seattle, of course, in the emerald green and black. And in addition to their goaltending, they need guys like Beniers, Eberle, Burakovsky, Gord to return to form.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, drop-off was significant, but you mentioned the shooting percentage, and what do they call that in stats when that happens? Basically a version of a market correction. You knew they weren't going to shoot at that level on a year-by-year basis.
We weren't sure they were a 46-win team going into last season. And this season, Bob, I can't say Seattle's only going to win 34 games. They've got a talented, deep roster, but they're going to need goaltending. Alexiak misfires on a pass intended for Tanev. Jared McCann, again, shaking up a big finishing hit behind the net by Eberle, and then the return pass from Tanev is off the mark. And he absolutely landed a big shot and then drew a penalty on the backside of it. Now we've got some pushing and shoving developing to the right of Olivier Rodrigue. as a 10-man scrum winds up in the corner. But Eberle started it with a heavy forecheck, and he got a healthy piece of Matthias Ekholm. And Eberle, of course, gives up about 4 inches and 25 pounds to Ekholm, and then the retaliatory shot from Draisaitl got called.
Edmonton 29 has 2 minutes for cross-checking.
And that's a classic Leon Draisaitl preseason penalty.
Yeah.
He's not going to be too worried about exacting a little shot there. Our referees tonight, Cody Beach and Graham Skilleter, linesman Justin Johnson and Bevan Mills, and the Oilers shorthanded for the second time already, and we've played 5.5 minutes. Draisaitl for cross-checking Eberle. And the Oilers once again with Nugent Hopkins and Derek Ryan to start the kill. This time, Kulak out there with Josh Brown. Face-off win for Jaden Schwartz, and the Seattle Kraken go to work here. Left to right. Brandon Montour biding his time. A top 5 defenseman in scoring a couple years ago, was banged up last season, but he returned for the playoffs and was ready to go. Burakovsky will wind it around the board. Shane Wright had a good season for Dan Bosma last year in the Coachella Valley, but here's centering passes, intercepted and cleared length of the ice. And the Oilers will change. Nurse and Ekholm return. And Noah Philp getting some penalty killing time alongside Drake Caggiula, who's had a good camp. Burakovsky sneaks down the left-hand side, finds Jaden Schwartz right circle. He'll drop it off in the corner. Stevenson in front. Schwartz wide with a pass that winds up on Burakovsky's tape. From the left half boards, he locates Schwartz. Then Burakovsky in the corner, pressure from Caggiula. Montour swung it back. Burakovsky's saucered across. Stevenson put it into the feet of Darnell Nurse, got it back off a deflection, and found Montour right point. Peers inside, lets it fly. That was blocked, and now Caggiula's got it, and he'll launch it up the right-hand side. Drake Caggiula has had a strong camp as well.
He has, and he just threw a nasty little hip check in there and sent the Kraken player.
He's learned to kind of use that sparingly. Doesn't need to throw his body into every single check the way he did in his first stint in Edmonton when he was trying to establish himself as an NHLer. He told me, you know what, I got a little reckless at times, and it cost me some man games.
You got to pick your spots.
That's Bjorkstrand, so that's icing, and Edmonton shorthanded for another 23 seconds. We'll get an ozone draw.
What has happened here, let's not forget, Stan Bowman traded for Drake Caggiula in a memorable deal.
Yeah, that sent Brandon Manning the other way to Edmonton.
Right.
That was very popular in the Edmonton community at that time.
That went over really well, let me tell you. And but, you know, I think that Stan's got to give the team, 7-8 minutes a game coming up from the minors.
Well, he told me he liked his season last year, but not his camp. And then he broke his hand late last season. It hurt Bakersfield. Kraken work their way into the offensive zone as the power play comes to an end. Napa Auto Parts penalty kill 2 for 2 already. A centering pass from Beniers was broken up. Sneaking down the left-hand side was Vince Dunn. Lost his balance and the puck. Bouchard did not get it out. Bjorkstrand in the high slot. Feathers one over to Borgen. He'll wind it along the boards. Bouchard anticipates, races over, cuts Eberle off, and then, though pressured by Beniers, is able to maintain control. Tanev snuck down low, tried to pick his pocket. Travis Dermott was there with support, and he'll throw it back to Bouchard. 8 minutes gone by, first period. No score in the hockey game. Seattle has just 2 shots on net, despite the 2 power plays. Lead pass left wing through the wickets of Jeff Skinner. He did get a piece, so no icing. Riker Evans back to his normal number 41. He gave it up a year ago to Pierre-Edouard Bellemare, and that did not work out. Draisaitl forces it free. Gord with a beautiful feed, right-hand side. Ryan Winterton, he'll challenge Kulak, but could not execute a centering pass, and Kulak ends up erasing the play in the corner. Gord gets back into the mix, and now he's engaged with Kulak. Winterton on the puck and twisted off it. As I say that, the outlet completed successfully from Jeff Skinner to Leon Draisaitl. Takes a bump from Evans and forces it down low again. Evans, a player that Dan Bylsma very familiar with down in Coachella Valley. Of course, the Firebirds going to back-to-back Calder Cup finals. Lost an overtime Game 7 to Hershey 2 years ago. Overtime Game 6 to the Bears last season.
Coached by
Dan Bylsma.
And who coached Hershey, our old friend Todd Nelson.
Yes, Todd Nelson and Of course, another former coach down in Hershey, Bob Woods. Yep. Connor McDavid. It's a pipeline. Dermott, right-hand side. Give and go. Bob Woods now an assistant for Bosma. Centering pass, lead pass, left wing. Of course, Woods, so many years in the Washington organization. Nugent Hopkins from distance, and that's held by Philip Grubauer with 10.5 to play in the first period. The Oilers, a couple of successful penalty kills, and they've actually outshot the Seattle Kraken 3-2 in the early going at Climate Pledge Arena. It's Edmonton 3-3 in the preseason. They've got this game against Seattle Friday night against Vancouver, and then they count for real. Bob and I think it's real, and we'll come right back with more real play-by-play from Climate Pledge. No score, first period. Edmonton, Seattle. It's the NHL preseason and Ford Dealers NHL Hockey. The Oilers Radio Network.
Believing in yourself takes confidence. At Portage College, 93% of grads say their education gave them the skills and knowledge they needed for their careers. That's the kind of confidence that leads to great results. Learn more at portagecollege.ca.
The Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation 50-50, presented by Rogers, is back and bigger than ever. The largest 50-50 in sports offers early bird draws, bonus raffles, and a main jackpot, which is growing by the second. With over $100 million invested across OilCountry, your support directly helps kids, families, and communities in need. Maybe you'll be our next winner. Get your tickets right now at EdmontonOilers.com and help make OilCountry a better place.
AGLC license number 696879.
Going to the Oilers game on October 22nd or 25th? Rexall will be hosting a free flu and COVID-19 vaccination clinic to help you stay healthy this season. Join Rexall and the Oilers on October 22nd and 25th at Rogers Place between 5:30 and 7:30 to get your flu shot and COVID vaccine. For 120 years, Rexall has been caring for your health. This season, get ready for both the game and flu season with them. Learn more at rexall.ca/vaccines. Administration based on vaccine availability and eligibility.
Portage College graduates are incredibly employable. How does Portage know? 99% of employers surveyed said they would hire a Portage grad. Get career ready at Portage College. Learn more by visiting portagecollege.ca.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Face off right side of Philip Grubauer. Noah Philp on a line with Kajula, and Derek Ryan will take the offensive zone draw. Philp, a goal already in this preseason, is going to be chased out of the circle, replaced by Derek Ryan. Of course, they've got the U of A connection as well. Face-off won by Seattle. Larson to Dunn. Dribbled up the left-hand side. Tolvanen did not get it out. Neither did Bjorkstrand. Dunn to Larson. Swung up the right-hand side. Shane Wright bottled up by Ekholm, who spins and fires it along the boards. Noah Philp back on the puck. Slashed away from him by Vince Dunn. And now Ekholm up through center. Philp defending against Bjorkstrand, and now creating space for Bouchard to wheel the puck up to first Ekholm and then Philp, who muscles it down low against Tolvanen. Have you been surprised at all by Philp's effectiveness in light of the year off?
Yes, 100%. The biggest thing is he's skating better. I'm trying to figure out how that happens when a guy doesn't play for better a year and his stride dramatically improves.
Maybe a year less wear and tear enabled him to find an extra gear. Noah Philp at the age of 26. A long shot, but here he is in the two final preseason games, and he's in a lineup with Connor McDavid as the Oilers force a giveaway and actually nudge it off the side of the net. Good work that time by Connor Brown, and Grubauer is forced to freeze it with 9:23 to go in this first period. And we'll take another break quickly from Climate Pledge Arena. Seattle and Edmonton, no score first period. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Sportsnet Plus is your ultimate destination for Oilers games. Stream more matchups than anywhere else. Spectacular! Catch Oilers action all season. Plans starting at $19.99 a month. Subscribe now at sportsnetplus.ca.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. You know what I'm a fan of? Alberta. The wide open spaces, the highways and byways, and a rugged, beautiful terrain that I'm proud to call home. Maybe that's why I'm also a fan of my Ford F-150. It's tough, capable, and smart, which makes it a natural fit for roads like these. So if it's a new truck you're looking for, look no further than the truck Albertans love to drive, F-150. Head into your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
When was the last time your electricity and natural gas provider made you feel like this? Low rates, no strings attached, year-round perks, and local energy experts who always have your back with Encore by Epcor. Find that carefree energy feeling at encore.epcor.com/carefree.
Customers are free to purchase natural gas or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822 toll-free.
Sportsnet Plus is your ultimate destination for Oilers games. Stream more matchups than anywhere else. Spectacular! Catch Oilers action all season. Plans starting at $19.99 a month. Subscribe now at sportsnetplus.ca.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
No score in the hockey game. Draisaitl between Arvidsson and Skinner. Dermott and Nurse round out the Edmonton quintet. Oilers in the white and Seattle in the dark. Halfway through this first period, no score. Oilers coming off a second 49-27-6 here in the past three. They also had that record in 21-22 when they also went to the conference final. Arvidsson jumped in to take the circle after Draisaitl was chased out, but he saw the face-off squirt loose all the way back to center. Nurse gives it to Arvidsson, then gets it back, and eventually locates a lunging Arvidsson on the right side. Gets some help from Draisaitl, who lugs it across the line. Now puts the brakes on right half boards. One-timer Arvidsson and a save made by Philip Grubauer. Grubauer came in with a pedestrian .836 save percentage in the preseason. 46 out of 55. And his career save percentage against the Oilers is sub .850 as well. Up the right-hand side, it's Burakovsky. Turned it over, and off that turnover, Hyman to Draisaitl, heads for the net. Draisaitl didn't see him. He'll backhand one off to Matthias Ekholm and change. Ekholm got run over again, and Burakovsky starts up the right-hand side. Lead pass left wing, Jaden Schwartz. In over the line, Montour fills the lane. Eventually, it's Chandler Stevenson. We come up on 8 1/4 to go. Scoreless first period. Bjorkstrand threw it around the boards. Past Ekholm. Tolvanen slides down low. Boy, he could shoot the puck. Here's Riker Evans a shot, and that disappears into the glove of Olivier Rodrigue. He played well last year in Bakersfield. Won 19 games, finished with a save percentage of .916.
He was in the high 920s for the first portion of the year. Of course, they got a new goalie coach there this year. His father, Sylvain, has moved on. Kelly Gard, who was with Prince Albert for a number of years, is the new goaltender coach at the AHL level.
Shane Wright chased out of the circle. A lot depends on Wright's development, I think, this year for Seattle as well.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Scored 22 goals last year in the American Hockey League. It's lobbed up the left-hand side. Now, you quickly go he'll be fine, he'll be fine. That's what you hear from Seattle.
No.
A lot of people consider him a bit of a suspect.
No,
Tell me why he's not.
Because he's insulated. Look at the lineup. They got Beniers, who's got all the pressure on him as the first-line center. They go get Stevenson as a second-line center, and they got Gord as a fourth-line center. He's in a perfect spot.
Will Borgen unable to maintain the puck after the icing call, or after the save by Rodrigue. Seattle won the offensive zone draw, but Borgen couldn't handle it, and now Kulak and Brown will send a dart up the right-hand side for Drake Caggiula. Trying to work his way down low against Evans, who cut the play off. Derek Ryan back on the puck for the Oilers, locates Philp behind the Seattle net. From out of the trapezoid, he'll locate Caggiula. Left point blast Kulak, and that handcuffs Grubauer, but he's able to make the save, his sixth of the night, with 7:23 to play in our scoreless first period. Edmonton Seattle. I mean, Shane Wright, a lot of people expected him to go first overall, drop to fourth. His numbers are decent, not overwhelming, but you like his long-term prospects.
Yes, I do. Now, that said, you know who was really happy that he didn't go number one that year?
So he's not Barrett Hayton, is what you're telling me.
No, I think he's got a higher ceiling than Barrett Hayton. Yurev, Slavkovsky, Jerry Johansson got a $60 million deal for him. That's the guy that ended up going number one. And as you recall, he had a pedestrian first half to his rookie year as a number one overall player.
Lobbed in, off the draw by Larson, and Rodriguez going to be forced to fall on this one with 7 and change to play in the scoreless first period. Tell you what, if he does have a solid season,
they're going to have a good team.
I think Seattle, if they get the appropriate bounce back from some of their veteran stars,
and they get some stops,
they're going to be a playoff team.
Well, they weren't just a playoff team 2 years ago. They
went to Game 7, second round. They went one game further than the Oilers did.
And they knocked off the reigning Stanley Cup champs in round one.
Correct.
Which no one saw coming.
Off the face-off, and here's Eberle, centering pass, and Tanev unable to knife that one home. Matthias Ekholm, right wing to Hyman, to the net. Poke checked away by Grubauer, good save, and then a stop as he came up top to make the denial on Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
I'm not sure how that's not a penalty on the net drive by Zach Hyman. I mean, he got hacked and whacked on his way hard to a goal there.
Couple of sticks in on the hands.
By Vince
and then
Dunn.
It was Nugent-Hopkins that followed up. Grubauer with a solid, effective poke check to turn away the first bid from Hyman.
Oh, this is the best we've seen Grubauer look against Edmonton this early in a game here.
I was going to say, it's also the longest he's lasted in a while. Now, he was out-dueled last spring. The Oilers came in here and won a game 2-1. Typically,
Skinner played well.
Very well. And Grubauer had a decent second half last year, and then he got hurt. And that's the other thing. Seattle has not been able to keep its goaltenders healthy. Here's Ryan Winterton down low. Won a Memorial Cup in Hamilton as a junior hockey player. Cleared out by Connor Brown, and now stepping up is Dermott. His long shot, and that nearly fooled Grubauer, but he was able to juggle and freeze it. 6.5 to go in the first period. I'll say this. At this point, with Podkolzin and Perry on the trip, and I know what you're saying about Philp and Caggiula, and they've earned it. They've earned this last look.
Sure.
But I don't see them in the lineup next Wednesday. The guy that I think has an actual shot to be there, or is making it close,
Is Dermott. He's got to get signed first.
Of course.
Yeah. And he has history with Chris Knobloch, played for Manieri, and with Jeff Jackson. That was his agent. So they know him.
And again, I'm not taking anything away from Philp and Caggiula. I'm just saying, realistically speaking, when I read the tea leaves, that's what I see. Now, obviously, an injury could change that, too.
We'll get to it in another...
Schwartz in transition through the neutral zone. Burakovsky at one-timer Montour, and that hit some traffic in front. That might have hit Dermott left hand. Keep an eye on that left hand from Travis Dermott, if you will, partner. Draisaitl with a giveaway, and now we've got a penalty, and it's a slash against Seattle. And the Oilers, for the first time tonight, will go on the Atco power play. Atco Energy, your trusted energy retailer, and it's Brandon Montour who will go to the box.
Well, he's shaking it off at the bench right now, left hand. Here's another reason why you look at Dermott in that situation, because the guys on the right side of the defense, Josh Brown, let's face it, he hasn't played at the level that he'd be happy with. Ty Emberson, I think the Oilers like him. He's been solid, but he hasn't killed it yet. Stetcher gives you what he's got, but that's opened up the window for a guy like Dermott,
who, of course, has played in the league 6 years.
Yes.
And that's the one thing you can't say about Emberson.
Right.
Talented, but unproven as of yet. Off the face-off, a clear by Seattle down the right-hand side. In the meantime, we've got a power play. Just as I say, hey, you can't discount injury. Dermott takes a shot off the hand, so we'll monitor his progress. Draisaitl slides down the right-hand side, but relieved of the puck in the process. And the Kraken force it back inside the Edmonton blue line with 5.5 to go in this scoreless first period. 90 seconds left in the slashing minor to Brandon Montour. Bouchard right to left. Hits Nugent Hopkins, now over the line. McDavid on the left half boards. Bouchard gives it right back to him. McDavid top of the circle. Draisaitl. One-timer Bouchard, and that was blocked. And the rebound deflected right to Larson. The block shot, Winterton. He was able to shake it off. I think he's going to be able to shake that one off. Bouchard collects the puck. Draisaitl hits the on-rushing McDavid. Driving down the middle. He'll feather one to Nugent Hopkins. Off the boards, Bouchard. Now stepping up is Draisaitl. McDavid coming out of the right corner. Bouchard high slot. McDavid top of the right circle. One-timer Draisaitl. Fought off by Grubauer. Protecting that far side of the net and allowing Brandon Tanev to launch one down the middle, and that will do it for the first Oiler power play unit. Second unit comes on. Darnell Nurse along with Matthias Ekholm, Victor Arvidsson, Jeff Skinner, and Adam Henrique. Arvidsson wrists one down deep. Ekholm took a pop. Skinner ducks inside, and his shot rocketed off Alexiak and out of play with 4.5 to go in the first period. And no score in this hockey game. 26 seconds left in the penalty to Montour. So McDavid and Draisaitl playing tonight. Of course, we expect Friday to be a full dress rehearsal. That's 5 games.
5 for Connor.
So what do you think of that, Bob? Does that catch you by surprise?
A little bit, yeah. I would have thought Connor would have played 3 or 4, not 5. But after the start last year,
I thought maybe 2. Henrique off the face-off. Skinner kicks it back. Nurse in the high slot. Ekholm, and that hopped over the stick of Darnell Nurse. Grabbed down the right-hand side. Stevenson tried to shovel it in front. That was tipped away by Ekholm, and now Matty Beniers will keep the puck clogged up in the Oilers zone, and the rest of the power play time will elapse. So 3 combined power plays for these two clubs. And Bob, not really much of anything in terms of close to a goal for either team. Often the penalty kills ahead of the power play early in the season. And of course, in this case, for both clubs, it's really the first time their first power play unit has been out there for an extended period of time. 3:45 to go. Nurse up the right-hand side. It's such a mishmash typically in the first week of camp. Drake Caggiula from Philp. A centering pass bounced around. Caggiula got a shot off, and that was blocked by Evans. And Seattle overhandling the puck in its own slot, but finally dug out by Bjorkstrand and chipped ahead for Tolvanen. He gave it away at the Edmonton blue line. Kulak defending well on allowing Philp to muscle it back the other way towards Derek Ryan. He's promptly checked by Will Borgen. Kulak tried to soccer it down low, but Shane Wright busts out right-hand side. Josh Brown back defensively, forces a tough pass into the feet of Tolvanen, and Brown eventually able to backhand it out to center ice. 3 minutes to play, first period, no score. Shots are 9-6 Edmonton. Eberle twists one inside the Edmonton line, but that's all. Kulak to Brown, hard up the boards. That's picked off by Montour and sent the other way for Jaden Schwartz. Off injured Seattle winger, but boy, when he's in there, he can still shoot the puck.
And he's been an Oiler killer over his career.
Nugent Hopkins able to redirect behind the net. Kulak long pass, broken up by the long reach of Alexiak, but he turned it over. Here's Nugent Hopkins getting it back for McDavid. Feeds him, and McDavid off the skate, and he can't finish. You won't see that often. Dermott, right side for Hyman, cuts left and tries to center. That's out of the reach of McDavid. Serves it up for Bouchard. Got it back. Again, a bit of a bobble. Moved through 2 Kraken players. Kept it alive for Hyman down low. Absorbs a check and then tumbled to the ice. Beniers, blind pass, turned it over. Dermott, left circle, lines it up. Beneath the goal line for Hyman, using a screen from Dermott. His one-time teammate in Toronto, McDavid, tried to dance through Beniers, wasn't there, and then McDavid took a penalty on Beniers. With 1:56 to go in this first period, Seattle will be awarded its 3rd power play of the night. A frustrated McDavid.
Edmonton 97, minor penalty, high sticking.
Unable to finish a feed from Nugent Hopkins, then a turnover, then a high sticking penalty. And when we come back, Seattle will look to break the scoreless tie on the power play. 0-0. We're at Climate Pledge Arena, Edmonton, Seattle. Preseason game number 7 for the Oilers. And this is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
When was the last time your electricity and natural gas provider made you feel like this? Low rates, no strings attached, year-round perks, and local energy experts who always have your back with Encore by Epcor. Find that carefree energy feeling at encore.epcor.com/carefree.
Customers are free to purchase natural gas or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822 toll-free.
RS Breakers and Controls, Canada's leader in new, used, tested, and obsolete circuit breakers, MCC buckets, bus plugs, and switches. They have everything you need to maintain your aging infrastructure, ensuring it operates as good as new. Their 24/7 emergency response gets you back up and running quickly, saving valuable time and money. Minimal generators or modifications needed. And like-for-like replacements mean no special inspections. Don't replace. Repair your legacy equipment with RS. Visit rsbreakers.com.
It's crunch time for your taste buds. Because for a limited time, A&W is collabing with Ruffles to bring you the Ruffle Crunch Teen Burger. Your favorite teen burger and your favorite Ruffles cheddar and sour cream chips combined into one unique taste sensation. It's grass-fed beef. It's one-of-a-kind ridges and crunch. Try it in all its teen burger glory or crunch into its equally tasty sidekick, the Ruffles Crunch Buddy Burger for just $4.99. Try one today at your neighborhood A&W.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
No score in the hockey game. Edmonton-Seattle face-off right side of Olivier Rodrigue, who's turned aside the 6 Kraken shots he's seen. Stevenson wins a face-off. And the Napa Auto Parts penalty kill once again tested for the 3rd time tonight. It's Ekholm, Nurse, Derek Ryan, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins to start. Stevenson on the left half boards for Seattle. Beneath the goal, a quick shot taken by Montour, right circle, a save Rodrigue, and the rebound sifted out by Nugent-Hopkins. Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer with you in our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth high atop Climate Pledge Arena. And a reset for Andre Burakovsky and the Kraken. Minute 20 to play in this first period. No score in the hockey game. Janmark did not get it down the ice. Here's Shane Wright. Burakovsky along the boards. Stevenson from the right corner out to Montour at the point. Stevenson, dart to the middle, intercepted by Connor Brown. And he'll drive down the right-hand side. The wrist shot fought off by Grubauer. Did not look comfortable in making that save as the rebound actually glanced off the outside of the post. Rebound for Stevenson, forced to back off as we dip inside a minute to play in this first period. Stevenson with Henrique bearing down on him. Joined by Arvidsson, Nurse, and Ekholm. That Napa Auto Parts penalty-killing quartet. Beniers to Jordan Eberle. Tailed off to 17 goals a year ago. Beniers went from 24 to 15. Cross ice. Bjorkstrand, a shot just missed. The left goal post. Rebound, Eberle. Dunn to Bjorkstrand. High slot. Dunn shoots wide. Rebound, Arvidsson. First stick on it. Did not get it out. Here's Vince Dunn. Bjorkstrand, left circle Eberle, one-timer done, and that was blocked up top and hacked down the ice by Arvidsson. That one caught Arvidsson, but he looks okay.
Bit him left foot.
5 seconds to go. Bjorkstrand in over the line. Beniers at the horn. A shot by Tolvanen broken up. And that will be all for the first period of play. No score in the opening 20 in Seattle with only 4 seconds of carryover power play time. I think it's safe to say that Napa Auto Parts penalty kill, a perfect 3 for 3 to start this game. And Arvidsson, as you pointed out, Bob, hobbling off. And that is not something Edmonton cares to see here as they get ready for their regular season opener a week from tonight. An 8 o'clock start against the Winnipeg Jets at Rogers Place. Cam and Bob will have that for you on 6:30 CHED, the Oilers Radio Network. Impressions of the opening 20.
Like the work of the penalty killers, like the amount of penalty killers that were used. Obviously, Nugent-Hopkins last year and Derek Ryan, that first unit. And then we saw Bitty Janmark along with Connor Brown. We had Henrique get some opportunity out there for Arvidsson. And then Kajula, who we're going to talk to momentarily, and Noah Phil.
Drake Kajula joining us ringside right now. Drake, it's Jack and Bob high atop Climate Pledge Arena. Penalty kill off to a good start. What was your takeaway from that opening 20 minutes?
I think, with the long travel day today, maybe got off to a little bit of a slower start in terms of just our legs. But We got to stay out of the penalty box. We're doing a great job on the PK so far, but you don't want to give teams too many opportunities on the power play.
Drake, we saw you maybe at your best in your NHL career, but Stan Bowman knows you too. I think you'd agree last year, maybe I was a little surprised you're down a little early. Here you are right at the end. You got to love the opportunity that you've got here this year.
Yeah, the opportunity's all you can ask for. I've got nothing to lose. I'm just going out, playing my game, having a lot of fun doing it. Whatever happens, happens, and I think, I'm just excited to be here and, have this opportunity in front of me.
Drake, what do you like better about your camp this year than maybe last year? You felt like you had a little jump right from the outset, you were telling me.
Yeah, I think, last year, I'd be the first one to say I didn't have the best camp. But I think this year I just came in with a different mentality. Had a great summer, just working on a lot of different things. Get my speed back after having a knee injury last year, and I think, just playing free. Don't let my mind overclutter anything, and just play hockey.
7 years have gone by. You've aged a hell of a lot better than me.
I'm bald, so I don't know if that's for sure the truth.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
That's Drake Caggiula, always a very engaging person from the moment he joined the Oilers, of course, fresh off an NCAA national championship at the University of North Dakota. An easy guy to root for.
Do you remember the funniest thing that ever happened with Drake and the Oilers?
100%. The banana.
We can tell the story politely. We can
tell the story politely, but Drake had left a banana in his locker room stall and went to get some treatment. And in the meantime, there was a scrum involving a player neighboring Drake Caggiula's locker. And a member of the Edmonton media did not see aforementioned banana. I'm not going to go as far as you are with this story. But the bottom line is that banana did not survive the incident, and Drake Caggiula came back and was rather mortified to see that he no longer had an appetizing snack waiting for him at his locker room stall. We'll leave it at that.
It sort of ended up kind of looking like baby food.
In any event, that was a beauty. That's one of those all-time stories. Bob and I have been privy to quite a few stories. Some we can tell, some we cannot, but that's, I guess, now 15 years of shared experience between the two of us. And Bob, shared experience also tells you, hey, look, there's 5 more periods of preseason hockey. Is there anything in particular you're going to be focused on over the next 40 minutes?
Victor Arvidsson, I want to make sure he's good to go here. Looked like he blocked it off the instep of his foot. And we're still watching Caggiula and Noah Philp and Dermott blocked his shot off his hands. So those are
if there's an injury, like I said,
throws everything else.
Absolutely. And Dermott is a guy that, boy,
he's got experience.
Right. But he was also looking at this as potentially, his last statement to maybe get an 100%. Actual contract.
Yeah, 100%. So those are the sort of, be honest, I'm kind of, you're a little, the game got off to a surprising start. The big hit by Jordan Eberle of all people.
Yeah, it woke the game up a little bit, didn't it?
It did. We'll maybe keep an eye on that as well.
So he's Bob, I'm Jack. We're reunited, and we've got 2 more periods of preseason hockey for you. Seattle and Edmonton. Bryn and Rob are standing by in just a moment. We're live from Climate Pledge Arena. No one on the board through 20 minutes of play in Seattle. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Going to the Oilers game?
I'm doing good, yeah. Good to be back on the ice. Obviously never a good situation leaving the game the other day, but feeling good, feeling ready to go. It's nice to be back skating again.
As a goalie, you're always being bumped in the crease. So you had that before where you got up and you said, this isn't my legs.
Yeah, I like to push the envelope a little bit. Obviously, I'm a little bit more of an aggressive goalie, so those things are going to happen. It was a pretty big collision the other night, but all things considered, pretty happy with how I felt the last few days, and looking to get back on the ice.
You haven't played much in the preseason. Is that any sort of concern or not? I'm not. You've only played about 40.
Yeah, it's not a concern. Obviously, you'd like to get out in there more, but last year I played 1 game and got off to a really good start in the regular season. So mentally, I'm in a good spot. Obviously, I want to get back out there and play, but we'll see what happens the next couple of days.
Was that one of those collisions where it's kind of like accidental on purpose? I don't think Gord just came into the crease and pushed Phil.
It was a fluky play. Yeah, I don't think anybody's at fault. They're just two guys going to that playing hard. Philper's, obviously back checking and taking away Gord, so he was doing his job. It was just an unlucky situation.
Have you had an injury like that before, where you're thinking, okay, I wake up the next morning and we'll see him play?
Not really, no. But those things happen. It'll happen again probably, but it's a physical sport, fast sport. A lot of guys going to the net, and that's definitely the potential happenings of a situation like that.
You had a chance to play behind Ty. What can you say about his defensive play?
He's great, really good guy. First and foremost, he's confident with the puck, plays physical, and he moves the puck well. So we're very excited to have him.
Can you tell he doesn't have a lot of experience in the NHL?
Can't, no. I don't know how many games he's played, but he looks like a veteran out there, and carries himself like a true pro. And like I said, very lucky to have him.
Calvin, can you take us through the mindset that you have coming into this season compared to where you were last year? I know at this time it was a much different circumstance, but kind of how that's evolved for you.
Yeah, obviously comfortable here. But somebody's always trying to take your job. I always got to be playing well, and looking forward to that next opportunity to get back on the ice. But it's exciting. It's an exciting time. Obviously, going into the last two exhibition games here, we got most of our team here, so it's going to be fun to get on the road and get gelling as a group.
In a perfect world, would you like to play a full game, one of the two games?
In a perfect world, I'd like to play all the time, but we'll see what happens. I'm ready to go, feeling good, and we'll see what happens.
The Calgary game, it was pretty one-sided. Calgary certainly played the Oilers in that game. Tough on a goalie, the game you played here against
yeah, obviously there was some rust there. Everybody's dealing with it. There's definitely some things that you want to work out your first game back. There's some good things I like. There's a lot of things that you want to clean up. Practice is a good time to do that too. So it's a learning experience. It's a mental test too, as much as it is physical. So good to go through those experiences and be better for it.
So can a goalie just make do with lots of shots in practice if you don't play lots of exhibition games with it? Whereas they're trying to find line combinations and defense pairings.
Yeah, you want repetitions. Obviously, game repetitions are important. Practice is pretty close as well. There's been years where I haven't played much in the preseason at all, and you just have to find yourself and get yourself ready once the regular season starts. And I guess this is no different this year.
How's your pickleball game?
It's gotten better since last year. I played a few times. I'm hardworking though. I get sweaty out there. Probably move a little bit too much than I have to. A little bit more than I have to, but looking for a big performance tomorrow.
Absolutely. And do you have a preferred teammate in terms of pickleball level caliber, I guess, on this team?
Well, Derek Ryan and I were partners last year. I'd like to see him draft me again this year because we got some unfinished business, but we'll see how the draft goes.
You might want a younger guy.
He can move, though. He's in good shape. Oh, okay. He can move. So I hope he drafts me.
Thoughts on a camp where we don't know how hurt you are, but you haven't played the games yet. What's it been like? You're taking part, but you're not taking part. What's it been like for you?
I don't know. The only thing I'm missing is a couple of games. So I feel I'm taking part. It's got a lot of skates in, a lot of work in. So it's I feel like I've been a part of it, but yeah, the game parts. It's always nice to get into a couple of those before the season.
Fair point. I guess you wouldn't have been playing in 5 preseason games by this point, right?
No, probably not. Probably not. Not anymore. I used to.
What's the plan? You think you got a chance to get into a couple games before the season starts?
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see what the plan is. Every day we, fluid day by day. So I just kind of been going on that wave and not playing too far into the future. It's just how the body feels that day.
You're not going to tell us everything about your injury. I get that, but you went through all the captive skates. You look like a normal guy out there. You're practicing. You look like everybody else, but you can't play games. What is it that we're trying to, what is it that happens in the game? Is it just contact? I guess.
I mean, there's I would say there's elements of the game that ramp up probably in games. There's I think you get the physical aspect of practice and camp, which I've been fully involved in, and those are usually set up in a way that it's predictable, where people are coming from, where the contact's coming from, and whatnot. And then games are a little more unpredictable. So if you go through an injury, you ramp it up step by step, and I think we've gone through a lot of steps at this point.
Do you see the benefit of being on the, like Matthias wasn't able to be, as an example, wasn't able to be on the ice with the team last year this time, and you are. Do you see the benefit of that, at least, without having been able to play games?
Yeah, 100%. I think, in my, the way I feel is I've gone out there and skated a bunch of stuff. I don't feel like I've missed anything, if that makes sense. Just from the sheer volume of getting out on the ice, trying to get out there early, stay out a little bit longer after, and get my reps in. And obviously, when you have, I think, purposeful reps, and that's, try to be very cognizant of when you're out there, making the most of each rep, and especially when you're playing with different partners and whatnot in certain situations out there in practice. So I felt like I've maximized that. So I don't feel like I've missed much.
Speaking of different partners, you did play with Cody Ceci for a long time. You got some different ones down the stretch in the playoffs. But does this feel like a kind of a different type of year going into it, knowing that you don't? Cody's not here, and you're not going to have your regular partner, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, our decor is a little. I mean, you look at our decor, the 6 that are going to be playing. There's going to be some change in that 6, and as opposed to the came into camp last year, and everyone was there from the year before. So I think that's probably an adjustment for everyone, other than probably Bush and Ack, who are going to play guys. So for us as a decor. That's what makes camp and this ramp up important, is you just get familiarity, because when October 9th comes, you want to hit the ground running.
Is getting into one of those or both of those last 2 preseason games a big deal? Just have you been around long enough that it's not that big a deal?
No, it's not a big deal to get into. So I think as a competitor and just someone who likes to play hockey, it'd be fun to get in and play, and obviously get some reps in game situation with whoever you play with that night. But it's not the end-all be-all. That's not the way I don't think anyone sees it as the end-all be-all. There's, at the end of the day, the objective is to be at 100% when the season opens up, and whatever route that is, it's on me to be prepared mentally and physically when I have.
The decision-making process, how does that go down? Is it you're saying that I want to go, or I'm not ready? Because you're a morning skate guy. You're always involved. So.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting old now. No, there's our training staff is second to none, I truly believe, and there's so much attention to detail. And obviously, I've over the course of my career, get to know your body more and more. So yeah, a lot of conversation goes on, and like I said, we take it a day at a time.
Do the morning skates feel earlier with 2 kids, or do they feel almost later because you're up earlier? How does that work?
Oh, way later. They feel way later. Yeah, I've been up for a couple hours by that point.
Hey, you have to. Your job's going to be to help bring a new young player into this league and make them comfortable, and help a guy like, if it's Ty Emberson, who's played only 30 games. How does that frame your season? How does that make it? Is it much? I know you got to try to take care of yourself here, but maybe you got to try to take care of someone else as well.
Yeah, I think the best way to help someone else is to be at the top of your own game, and that's for me. I got to be at the top of my game for this season, and then when it starts and carry it throughout, and that's where my focus is. And through example and leading that way, that's where I'll come from.
Your game, what would you change? What will you change, or do you change anything from your conversations with Paul Coffey between last year and this year? What kind of defenseman do you want to be? Is there? See anything different?
Well, I just want to be myself, play the way I'm capable of playing. That's I think I have a pretty good picture of that in my mind. So if I can play my capabilities and in the way I feel I can play, that's all that matters.
Just a little similar question, but do you feel like there's a way you need to change in order to kind of mesh with Ty, because he's a bit different maybe than Cody? Is there?
Yeah, I mean. Every partner, every D-man is a little bit different to play with. But like I said, I think you take care of your own work, and everything else kind of, it's odd how it all seems to mesh together.
Make OilCountry a better place.
AGLC license number 696879.
Athletes know that to advance your career, you've got to be part of a winning team. So, what about you? Are you working for a winning team? Well, here's your chance to do just that. Brandt is a strong and stable industry leader with career opportunities across Canada. We have hundreds of positions available right now, from parts, sales, positioning technology, heavy-duty mechanics, and more. Be a part of a winning team. Earn your stripes by joining Brandt today. Find out more at BrandtJobs.com.
Nuges Nuggets. This is Nuges Nuggets, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. What nugget of heating and cooling advice does Nuge have today?
You can save a lot of money by bundling your new furnace and AC with Legacy. It's kind of like saving money on an endorsement by bundling me, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, with someone like, Zachary Martin Hyman.
Thanks for suggesting me, Nuge. Get no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new AC and furnace from Legacy Heating and Cooling. Proud sponsor of Nuges Nuggets.
It's game on at City Ford. With an all-star lineup of 2024 Ford favorites, save up to $5,000 on Escapes, up to $6,000 on Bronco Sports, and up to $16,000 on F-150s. Plus, find 0% financing options available on all 3 vehicles. Score an all-star deal today and spin and win an iPad, Oilers merch, Costco card, even a trip to Vegas. Visit City Ford on the St. Albert Trail.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Live from Seattle, Washington, Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer with you on our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. The Oilers and the Seattle Kraken have played to a 20-minute scoreless stalemate. Seattle had 3 power play opportunities, did not convert any, and in fact were outshot 8-7 in that first period. Oilers will be shorthanded for all of 5 seconds here to begin period 2. Edmonton and Vancouver will meet up Friday. We'll have it for you 8 o'clock right here on the Oilers Radio Network, 6:30 Ched in Edmonton. And that will be the final game ever on 6:30 Ched in Edmonton. If you're on 880, stick with us. 880 is where to find us, starting with the regular season opener a week from tonight. So we can't remind you enough. You're down to 2 games if you're listening on 6:30. Week from tonight, flip over to 880 if you haven't done so already.
Been on 6:30 since the early 1990s. So it's been over, I would think it's got to be 28, 29 years minimum. I'm thinking maybe 95, possibly even 94. I guess that would be mid-90s, Jack.
That's okay, Bob.
Math is hard.
Nugent-Hopkins against Matty Beniers, and we're underway to start period 2. The Oilers traveling left to right. Nugent-Hopkins wins the faceoff, flips it in. McDavid emerges from the box, and we are now 5-on-5 as Seattle slides it down the right wing boards. Olivier Rodrigue playing tonight because Calvin Pickard got banged up in Saturday's win over Seattle. Rodrigue got the win in relief over the Kraken on that night. Pickard is expected to be okay for Wednesday's regular season opener in a backup role for Stuart Skinner. That'll be Stuart Skinner's first opening night start. And Skinner expected to start as well on Friday against Vancouver in the preseason finale, which will be the final dress rehearsal for both the Oilers and the Canucks, who met in the second round a year ago. We're going to have an offside whistled against Seattle here, coming over the line right to left. Edmonton beat Vancouver in 7 games in last year's second round series after losing all 4 regular season meetings, including one in the final week and a half of the year that probably cost Edmonton a chance at its first division title since 1987.
Well, it was a strange series. I mean, the Edmonton Oilers won a playoff series with their starting goaltender having the lowest save percentage in NHL playoff history to win a series.
Edmonton never was ahead in that series until Game 7. McDavid watches as Draisaitl hauled down on the left wing boards, and that will be a second power play for Edmonton. Victor Arvidsson, by the way, is on the ice and looking none the worse for wear, so he's okay. And he exalts in Draisaitl, his line mate's ability to draw the penalty, and the Oilers will be on the Atco power play for the second time this evening. Draisaitl, McDavid, Hyman, Nugent-Hopkins, and Bouchard, the usual suspects for the league's best power play over the last 3 seasons. Draisaitl, 32 power play years 32 power play goals a couple years ago. What do you have, 25 last year, Bob?
Yeah, not bad.
Here's Nugent-Hopkins, Bouchard, Draisaitl, McDavid left circle out to Nugent-Hopkins, top of the circles, Bouchard, Draisaitl right face-off dot, slides it inside. Nugent-Hopkins, a shot, had it blocked, and this will be a clear for Yanni Gourde. He elects to skate it out and then chip it behind Evan Bouchard. Travis Dermott also on the Edmonton bench, so apparently everyone okay. Draisaitl to McDavid, centering pass, and that missed time and stick. Draisaitl, top of the right circle, as Edmonton looks to break the scoreless tie here in the early stages of period 2. Draisaitl, McDavid is shot, and somehow Grubauer able to come up with it. I'm not sure he saw it, but he made the save on McDavid, who scored 32 goals a year ago, and now an early look for the second power play unit with still a minute 18 remaining on this Atco power play, and Burakovsky in the box for hauling down Draisaitl.
Oilers with some different routes there on that power play. Nugent-Hopkins sort of a middle bumper look, and then Connor McDavid dipping in, activating, sliding in for an opportunity.
Is that important, Bob, to show some different looks and not be too predictable, even though you've got such talented players?
100%.
Arvidsson jumps in to take the face-off after Henrique was chased out. Skinner, Ekholm, and Nurse round out the power play quintet. Arvidsson bumps it down low for Adam Henrique. You've got Skinner. All three of these players have scored 30 goals in an NHL season, and Grubauer is able to reach behind on the right-hand side. So how about that? On your second power play unit, theoretically, you've got 3 forwards with 30-goal seasons to their credit in their career.
And then a couple defensemen that have had double-digit goals multiple times in their career. Without getting a lot of power play time, a lot of their goals have been at even strength. For Nurse,
including last year. I mean, Nurse and Ekholm combined for 21 goals last year. Off the draw. Ekholm has it tipped away, and now a shorthanded chance developing for Chandler Stevenson down the left-hand side. Couldn't control against Adam Henrique, who rides him into the boards, and then Ekholm comes over and polishes off Stevenson. Nurse emerges from that fray with a feed to Arvidsson. Left wing, he'll hit the Seattle line. A little behind Matthias Ekholm. Of course, they played together for a long time in Nashville. Very good friends off the ice. Turned over in the corner, and Seattle will launch down the middle, and now the Edmonton power play has dwindled to 25 seconds, and McDavid has come out. Skinner and Arvidsson remain out there. Skinner taken off his feet as he reached the Seattle blue line, and it's another length of the ice clear for the Kraken. Down to 10 seconds on this Atco power play. Ekholm looking to make a late chance. An opportunity for McDavid down the right-hand side, but Bouchard had it flicked away by Yanni Gourde, and now the teams are combined 0 for 5 on the power play tonight. Hyman tried to center, back at even strength, intercepted by Jamie Alexiak. He'll put it up the left wing boards. This should be icing against the Kraken, and there's the whistle. With 3 1/4 having elapsed here in period 2, Edmonton and Seattle, still no score at Climate Pledge Arena.
A little bit different look here. It's like you're going to have Draisaitl, McDavid, and Hyman, a 5-on-5 shifting. They had one coming out of a penalty kill, first penalty kill of the game for Edmonton. And part of that was because Hyman was the guy in the box.
Bouchard is able to hold the puck in the zone off the draw. Hyman shadowed by 2 Kraken players down low. Bouchard across. This time Travis Dermott slugs it wide. Rebound McDavid coming off the right corner boards. Puts the brakes on, uses a screen from Draisaitl, high slot, then got caught in between pass shot and turned it over. And Burakovsky will dump it inside the Oiler blue line. We were speculating as to why McDavid is going to play 5 preseason games when many thought he might play 2 or 3, Bob. Is it possible he's just not feeling it quite yet and wants some more reps?
I think that's a fair assessment.
Beniers to Jordan Eberle. He'll dump it behind the Oiler net. Wrap-up situation, Josh Brown closing quickly on Beniers. Eberle twists down low for Bjorkstrand. Poke checked away by Kulak. There for Seattle is Beniers off to Jordan Eberle. Out to Borgen, healed one wide on a one-timer. Beniers threw it behind the net. Kulak and Eberle collide. Draisaitl pulled it free, looking to hit McDavid. Taken away by Borgen, and then he fired it off his own man. Eberle crumples to the ice. Here's Beniers to Bjorkstrand. Centering pass, Ellie Tolvanen. Bjorkstrand a shot, blockered away by Rodrigue. Caromed off of Josh Brown. He's able to win a battle with Beniers and allow Hyman to clear back towards center. Hyman out there with Noah Philp and Drake Kajula right now for Edmonton.
Hyman can't get off the ice. That's what's happened there.
He's pinned. Wanted to come off a second time, and now finally will get a replacement. And here comes the other member of that line tonight, Derek Ryan. Seattle able to float it down low. Josh Brown. Pressure from Tolvanen. Fends him off. Backhands it up the boards. Derek Ryan up to Noah Philp. Dashing down the left wing. Shadowed by Adam Larson. Pulls up. Hits the trailer. Dermott. Flashes to the right-hand side, only to have it poke-checked away by Chandler Stevenson of Seattle. Up to center, Tolvanen. From the red line, he'll shoot it in. It's going to be knocked down by Olivier Rodrigue. Nurse launched it up the left-hand glass. That'll bounce through Borgen and inside the Seattle blue line. 5.5 minutes gone by, second period. Still no score in this hockey game. Chandler Stevenson to John Hayden. Tried to go short side, and that hit the outside of the net. Out to the point, Riker Evans. His long shot tipped home. 1-0 Seattle. May have been Brandon Tanev on the drive-by in front of Olivier Rodrigue.
Well, just put the puck on the net. The Oilers had an opportunity earlier to do the same thing. The problem is Dermott, a left shot, was over the right side. He hasn't looked as comfortable, and he had a chance on a drop and delay play from Philp and lost possession. They came back up the ice, and just a real smart play. Riker Evans, he's got some offensive ability, and you're right, Tana with the deflection redirection.
Hayden had set a screen in front, but it was Tanev with the tip over the right shoulder of Olivier Rodrigue. 1-0 Seattle. Here's a blast by Ekholm from distance, saved by Grubauer, and we've played 6 minutes in this second period, and finally the Kraken have broken through. Brandon Tanev from Riker Evans at 5:52 of the second period, and it's the Kraken 1, Edmonton no score. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the preseason game number 7. The Oilers Radio Network.
It's a new era for Ford in Edmonton. Welcome to Big West Ford. Located westbound on Stony Plain Road just east of the Henday, Big West Ford is Edmonton's newest and most exciting Ford dealership. Whether you're after the legendary F-150, the Powerhouse 350 Super Duty, or the adventurous Bronco, they've got you covered with exceptional selection and service right here in your city. Big West Ford, driven by you. Visit Big West Ford at 18208 Stony Plain Road or online at bigwestford.com.
Experience the exciting casino action at 3 Century Casino locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. Dine at one of their amazing restaurants featuring daily specials. Take in the ultimate game day experience at the Century Sports Bar and Lounge. Check out the best in live entertainment at any amazing location. Plus, enjoy a great selection of casino gaming options and off-track betting. Feel the thrill of live horse racing at Century Mile Racetrack. Don't miss a second of the action at Century Casino. Come for the action. Stay for the fun.
Did you know that there are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been doing so for more than 50 years? Since Napa first opened in Edmonton, the community has grown and vehicles have changed, but you can always trust Napa Auto Parts to provide you with the expert know-how and the best vehicle parts. And if that isn't enough, every time you visit a Napa Auto Parts store when you present your AMA card, you receive an additional 10% discount on all retail parts and accessories. Visit your local Napa Auto Parts store for more offers and expert know-how. Napa Auto Parts is a proud fan of the Edmonton Oilers.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
Tonight's Oiler 50-50 presented by Rogers in support of Every Kid Deserves a Shot, shaping the futures of kids across OilCountry through the transformative power of hockey. And that 50-50 jackpot and October bonus jackpot continues to grow. 9-minute face-off to Grubauer's right-hand side. Enrique wins the draw. Hammered wide by Ekholm. Rebound to Connor Brown, and somehow that stayed out. Just missed the left goal post. Ekholm with a hard check on the right-hand side against Jordan Eberle. But the Kraken are able to bring it through the neutral zone. Drop pass to Eberle from Beniers, and he curled one wide. Brandon Tanev just with a tip in from Evans and Borgen. and that's given Seattle a 1-0 lead as we approach the midway point of the hockey game. Jack and Bob with you live in Seattle. We'll be in Vancouver Friday night, and that's an 8 o'clock Mountain face-off. Here's Henrique getting it back from Connor Brown. Can't finish. Short side against Grubauer. Rebound punched up the wall, but Benier's too soft to get it out. Winterton challenges Josh Brown. Evans comes over to cut it off. Jeff Skinner on the puck for Edmonton. Left corner tried to feather it in front for Arvidsson. That was disrupted and cleared the other way by Winterton, and took an extra shot from Josh Brown for his trouble. Brown, like Dermott, a 7-year NHL man. Here's Leon Draisaitl. Burst of speed around Shane Wright. But unlike Dermott, Josh Brown has a contract. Dermott on a PTO. Here's Josh Brown, right point. Thrust it behind the Seattle goal, around the boards. Battled for, controlled by Arvidsson. Tolvanen able to cut it off. Draisaitl digging in. Forced it free back to center. Brett Kulak, left to right. The Oilers come charging into the zone and quickly have to exit as Draisaitl had it knocked away. Now Bjorkstrand streaks in, centers, backhander, score. Shane Wright. Off the turnover, Wright able to finish.
Well, Kulak went to play the play up the left side boards, and Seattle repelled it. And then a quick little interior pass as Brown came to angle off the man in support, and Shane Wright finishes it off 2-0 Seattle.
Kulak jumped up, and once Bjorkstrand got through him, he was able to wheel and fire a backhand pass that Shane Wright was able to tuck home. A little spin and a backhander through Rodrigue. 2-0 Kraken. Oilers off the draw. Darnell Nurse left to right, gets it in deep for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Out there with McDavid and Hyman. Hyman forces a giveaway. A shot by Dermott off of Grubauer. Juicy rebound. Still trickling free and finally hoisted out by Adam Larsson. Shot back in by Dermott. Grubauer out to handle this puck. Kicked out by Stevenson. Jaden Schwartz backhands it in deep. Stevenson absorbs a hit from Darnell Nurse. Burakovsky looking to protect in the right corner. Slash free by Stevenson. Bounced off a body. And now you've got Hyman left wing digging in and setting up for McDavid. Backhander right circle, and that's deflected away. Give Montour a second assist on that previous goal. Bouchard tripped up, and this will be a penalty on Seattle. McDavid to the middle. Hyman a shot. Left circle. Save Grubauer, and he'll freeze it as the Oilers poised to go on yet another Atco power play. Their third of the night. They trail 2-0 right from Bjorkstrand and Montour at 7:47. 2 goals in less than 2 minutes for Seattle.
Seattle 17 has 2 minutes for tripping.
But now Schwartz to the box for a trip. And the Kraken will have to deal with this vaunted Edmonton power play as the Oilers look to get back into the game 29 minutes in. No doubter, open ice trip. Schwartz against Bouchard, who kept his feet moving.
One of the things that's got to happen this year for the Oilers power play for me, and I know it's been really good, we know that, Nugent-Hopkins got to be a little bit more proactive shooting the puck.
Draisaitl wins the face-off. Here's Nugent-Hopkins down low to McDavid. Curling from behind the net. Right face-off. That one-timer fired off the pass of Grubauer and taken by Brandon Tanev up through center. And I would add McDavid to that list, quite frankly. I thought at times, and I don't know whether necessarily as it's floated in and Rodriguez to freeze it, it'll be a defensive zone draw for Edmonton. They're on the power play for another minute 41. But you wonder whether the 100 assists started to factor in. And McDavid's an unselfish player as it is.
The power play
but when McDavid and Nugent-Hopkins are shooting to go along with Draisaitl and Bouchard from up top, you've got a lot to deal with. And then Hyman there to clean up seemingly all the loose change.
Jack, it's like a starting pitcher that's got 4 good pitches and he only uses 2 of them.
Yanni Gourde.
You know, that's what they used to say about you back in the day.
I don't think they used to say anything about me athletically. Sent in deep by Larson. Here's Connor McDavid up the right-hand side for Bouchard over the line. Drop pass, McDavid, top of the right circle. Feathers it back. Here's Draisaitl stepping up. A shot deflected off the pads of Philip Grubauer. I think Hyman got a piece. Nugent Hopkins in the high slot, and he's drawn a penalty against Tanev. Here's a dish. Nugent Hopkins fired from McDavid, and that was blocked. And with 9:59 to go, we'll have a second consecutive tripping call against the Kraken. And the Oilers will have a 5-on-3 for a full minute.
Well, you don't get a lot of these opportunities in preseason, so...
You're not going to get many of them in the regular season either.
Just work with them. Remember the first year Todd McClellan coached the team 15-16, and the Oilers had like under 3 minutes of 5-on-3 time through the first 40 games of the year.
So in the 5-on-3 alignment, Hyman and McDavid will stack the paint. Draisaitl does win the faceoff against Yanni Gourde, and here's Bouchard in the high slot. Draisaitl, left corner. Edmonton trails 2-0, midway point of the hockey game. McDavid and Nugent Hopkins trading the puck behind the net. One-timer ripped off the post from Bouchard. That was from the right circle. Draisaitl in the left circle with a rebound off to McDavid. In the high slot, Bouchard across, one-timer Draisaitl, and he wrong-footed everyone, but he pushed it about 5 feet wide, clattered off the boards and down the ice. Rodrigue will swing it ahead to the captain, Connor McDavid.
This is the Ralph Kruger 5-on-3 power play with 2 men set up back behind the end line.
Nugent Hopkins to Bouchard. Draisaitl top of the right circle. Bouchard, left circle, McDavid. Nugent Hopkins tried to give it back to him, and that was tipped away by a reactive Adam Larson. And already the 5-on-3 down to 10 seconds. Here's Draisaitl lugging it in, fighting off Alexiak, borrowing his way to the net. A save made by Grubauer. A failed attempt at a clear, and Seattle may rue that. Here's McDavid to Draisaitl off the pads of Grubauer. McDavid left circle, tried to feed the front of the net. That was broken up. Came back to him, threw it across. Draisaitl to the middle. Nugent Hopkins. McDavid. Draisaitl, one-timer score. And Edmonton whips it around and eventually gets on the board with Draisaitl finishing off the power play for his first goal of the preseason. The Oilers within 2-1.
They're so good playing.
Impossible to defend.
They're so good playing road hockey, right? That's what it is at that point. Once there's chaos and the puck's loose and it's just collateral damage trying to defend it.
It's over, is what it is. I mean, that was just too much.
I mean, Leon Draisaitl has led the NHL in power play goals for the last 5 seasons, and he showed why there. They showed why.
The aggregate.
Yes.
Josh Brown fires it in from center ice. A quick clear by Vince Dunn will chase Edmonton back. Brett Kulak will shovel it toward the middle, intercepted by Matty Beniers. McDavid draws the primary assist on the Draisaitl power play goal that has brought Edmonton within 2-1 with 8:20 to play in this second period. Caggiula manages a clear through Montour. Beniers over the line, shot Montour, had it blocked up top, and that one hurt Caggiula. Still loose. Nugent Hopkins, by the way, will get the second assist on the scoring play. And Caggiula streaking down the right-hand side with an Edmonton dump in. Quickly advanced back through the middle by Eberle. Shane Wright, left side, Montour on his backhand, tried to beat Rodrigue twice short side, and Rodrigue stopped both. Shane Wright, who scored earlier in this period, unable to do much down low, and Darnell Nurse will break it out with Caggiula. His shot rocketed out of play by a defending Brandon Montour. When that puck flies into the protective netting, the clock reads 7:35 to go in the second period. The Oilers have outshot the Kraken tonight 18-10. They trail 2-1, and we come back with more live second period play-by-play in just a moment. It's Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Score big with the unmatched purity of Clearwater Vodka, the perfect companion for Oilers fans. Crafted with the pristine waters of Alberta, it's a sip of local excellence. Clearwater Vodka, where the spirit of the game meets true Alberta quality. Must be 18 plus. Please drink responsibly.
When the Oilers are on the ice, the big hits are a part of the game. But they shouldn't be a part of your drive. If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown & Associates and their over 200 years of combined injury law experience help you. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown & Associates is ready to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Think you can't go back to school because you have a family or a full-time job? Yes, you can. Northern Lakes College provides a supported distance learning environment, offering a guided learning setting that supports you to succeed and provides the flexibility to suit your lifestyle. Explore programs in academic upgrading, business, health, human services, resource technology, university studies, and more, including a wide range of courses available through continuing education. The education you want, the flexibility you deserve. NorthernLakesCollege.ca.
Score big with the unmatched purity of Clearwater Vodka, the perfect companion for Oilers fans. Crafted with the pristine waters of Alberta, it's a sip of local excellence. Clearwater Vodka, where the spirit of the game meets true Alberta quality. Must be 18 plus. Please drink responsibly.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
2-1 hockey game in favor of the Seattle Kraken. Edmonton an offensive zone draw here. Skinner and Arvidsson flanking Leon Draisaitl, who lost the faceoff, and the Kraken break out. Coming right to left, Shane Wright pulls up. Top of the left circle. Little spin move on Nurse. He'll take it behind the net. Nurse defends him well, forces it loose for a moment to Draisaitl, who just scored on the power play to pull the Oilers within a goal. Dermott to Skinner. Nurse on to Victor Arvidsson. Right wing drop pass for Draisaitl, tries to squeeze between defenders. His backhander is wide. Nurse tried to locate Draisaitl in front. Instead, it's Arvidsson to Jeff Skinner. Back to Arvidsson. Left circle. Fires another pass to Draisaitl in front. Redirected. Travis Dermott. Travis Dermott scores. We apologize for a technical glitch there. It is the preseason after all. But Travis Dermott bangs one in after effective puck movement, and that is the best the Draisaitl, Arvidsson, and Skinner line has looked all preseason. And what a finish from Travis Dermott, point blank. Stuffs home his own rebound, and we're tied.
Oh, excellent activation there from Travis Dermott as he finishes the playoff. And you nailed it. Three-way passing play before the goal.
So Dermott able to bury it. And the Oilers have erased a 2-0 deficit. It's 2-all. Connor Brown. Out to Ekholm. Fires it across for Evan Bouchard. Center ice Chandler Stevenson tapped inside the Oiler blue line. Shoveled in by Brown and swatted out of play by Will Borgen. 6:22 to play in the second period.
I mean, Jack, we should mention the Oilers are out shooting Seattle 21-10 here. They've been the better team.
And they've tied it. Seattle 0 for 3 on the power play. That hasn't helped their cause either. And Travis Dermott, we talked about a guy who might have a shot, an outside one at that.
Well, that'll help you.
And just the natural instincts, Bob, to go ahead and crowd the front of the net and tuck home his own rebound. Off the face-off, the Kraken bump it up the left-hand side. Draisaitl and Arvidsson with the helpers on Travis Dermott's first of the preseason. Like Josh Brown, I mean, Dermott's not known as an offensive-minded guy, but he was in the right spot, just natural instincts going to the front of the net. As Draisaitl, Arvidsson, and Skinner were really throwing it around, Bob. I mean, that looked like a power play.
Yeah, it did.
So you've got McDavid down low. Attack zone, Nurse shot, left point, sails wide, rebound, Vince Dunn. And again, we appreciate your patience as we grind our way through some technical difficulties. This will be an icing call against the Seattle Kraken as Nurse draws back. 5.5 to go in the second period. And it's 2-2. Well, at least it's not Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final.
No. Yes. Well, that was
where we had some issues, yeah. That's probably, would you say that's as angry as you've seen me live in person?
I mean, yeah. The thing is, you never see me that angry.
No.
Unless you watch Alabama give up a touchdown.
Well, that's true. Noah Philp wins the face-off. Here's Josh Brown winding it along. Vince Dunn backhands it up the left-hand side. Drake Kajula tucks it toward the Seattle net, and that's covered by Philip Grubauer. 5:23 to go in the second period. Shots are 21-10 Oilers. They've erased a 2-0 deficit. Draisaitl and Dermott with the goals for Edmonton. Leon Draisaitl, a power play goal and an assist on the equalizer. And we got a brand new hockey game with 25 minutes to go. It's the preseason from Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle. Oilers and the Kraken deadlocked at 2. And this is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey. The Oilers Radio Network.
Be a savvy Edmonton hotel shopper. Book through edmontonsbesthotels.com and receive up to $225 in cash rewards. There are over 55 member hotels to choose from, offering their best value rates. edmontonsbesthotels.com. Rewards with every booking.
When it comes to your new home, nothing should stop you from getting exactly what you want. Coventry Homes puts your needs front and center. They won't deke past your questions about customization, and making changes won't get you sent to the penalty box. With their customizable designs and flexible options, your game-changing home is within reach. Score big with flexibility. By Coventry Homes, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers.
RS Breakers and Controls, Canada's leader in new, used, tested, and obsolete circuit breakers, MCC buckets, bus plugs, and switches. They have everything you need to maintain your aging infrastructure, ensuring it operates as good as new. Their 24/7 emergency response gets you back up and running quickly, saving valuable time and money. Minimal generators or modifications needed, and like-for-like replacements mean no special inspections. Don't replace, repair your legacy equipment with RS. Visit rsbreakers.com.
Be a savvy Edmonton hotel shopper. Book through edmontonsbesthotels.com and receive up to $225 in cash rewards. There are over 55 member hotels to choose from, offering their best value rates. edmontonsbesthotels.com. Rewards with every booking.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Oilers looking at an offensive zone draw to the right of Philip Grubauer, whose lifetime record against the Oilers 3-4 and a save percentage south of 85. That's in regular season play. He's given up 2 goals on 22 shots tonight. Edmonton has limited Seattle to 10. Found themselves trailing 2-0 at the midway point of this hockey game, but Seattle's propensity for taking penalties finally caught up with them. Draisaitl knocked home a power play goal and then set up Dermott for the equalizer at even strength moments ago. Noah Philp racing up the left-hand side, hits Josh Brown, but an offside, unforced error. Derek Ryan, left wing. 4:56 to go in the second period. The game tied at 2. But what's most notable about the Dermott goal is, quite frankly, the 5-on-5 play of Draisaitl, Skinner, and Arvidsson, who really appeared comfortable for
That's the best
first time all preseason.
Maybe the first shift in the game on Monday night when they were out there together. They looked,
but they were wheeling it around there. I mean, that was elite.
Yeah.
If the Oilers get a few shifts like that, they're going to be ecstatic with this newfangled combo. Skinner doesn't get an assist on the score sheet, but trust me, he was a major factor in creating that tying goal. Draisaitl wins a face-off in the neutral zone. Arvidsson down low. Draisaitl left corner. This time his feed to Skinner broken up. Seattle wanted a penalty as Winterton went down in a heat. Draisaitl this time missed Arvidsson in the right circle. And a clear by Brandon Montour. Game tied at 2. Winterton reeled in by Brett Kulak, and the Oilers take over puck possession. Arvidsson back to Bouchard. 4:20 to play, second period. Arvidsson Fell down. Might have been partially tripped by Stevenson. Jeff Skinner carries the puck down low into the attack zone for the Oilers. Right side, Draisaitl. Bouchard across to Ekholm left point. Bouchard in the high slot under pressure from Stevenson, and he coughed it up. Burakovsky at center. Good poke check by Jeff Skinner. Forces Burakovsky to just launch behind the Oiler net. Rodrigue will leave it for Matthias Ekholm as we come up on 3:45 to play in period 2. Nugent Hopkins will chip and charge in against his old teammate Adam Larson. Sent ahead, left-hand side, Jaden Schwartz. Lift the stick of Bouchard, allowed Burakovsky to move it ahead for Stevenson. Drop pass, Larson at last, and that was deflected up and out of play.
Good stick, Ekholm.
A couple of years ago, Adam Larson exploded to a career high of 8 goals and 33 points. Of course, 5 of his 13 NHL seasons spent in Edmonton. This is 14th year. Drafted 3 picks after Ryan Nugent-Hopkins in 2011.
Justin Schultz was on this defense last year. They've obviously, went out and spent a ton on Brandon Montour.
And that's a significant upgrade.
Yeah, Schultz was, by the end of the year, he was in the third pairing. I'm told Justin Schultz turned down NHL one-way deals. I'm not saying that was with Edmonton. And I'll be interested to see where he ends up here at some point.
Off the face-off, slashed out of there by Connor McDavid. He's out there with Nugent Hopkins and Hyman as Seattle's Vince Dunn takes an icing call with 3:21 to play in the second period. And again, the Kraken have just 3 shots in the period and 10 in the game. And we've played nearly 40 minutes. The face-off coming to Philip Grubauer's right-hand side. Grubauer in Colorado had a record of 66 wins and 30 defeats in regulation, played to a save percentage of .918. In Seattle, 49 wins, 61 losses. That's somewhat understandable considering you're talking about an expansion team. But the save percentage has gone from .918 to .894 in the same 3-year period. Here's McDavid off the draw to Evan Bouchard. This is following the icing call. Bouchard takes a wrist shot that's deflected a couple of times on its way wide. Puck rolls to Brandon Tanev, who opened the scoring. All the goals here in this second period after a scoreless first. Jaden Schwartz lifts it ahead. Tanev getting elevated with the late scratch to Jared McCann. That's troublesome for Seattle. All he's done is scored 69 goals the last 2 years in a Kraken uniform. Seattle opens a Tuesday afternoon affair, 1:30 local time to open the regular season against the St. Louis Blues. That is just odd. It's one thing to start playing afternoon games when you're 8-9 games into it, but to open your season front end of an ESPN triple header. So an odd way to begin the regular season for Seattle. A dump in by Matthias Janmark and a clear by Winterton of Seattle. Clubbed in by Riker Evans and Yanni Gord against Darnell Nurse. Behind the Edmonton net, patrolled by Olivier Rodrigue, who's been a lonely guy for most of this second period. Seen 3 shots in 18 minutes. 4 players engaged behind the Edmonton net. Dermott trying to pull it free. Winterton looking to protect. Nurse works the wall for Janmark. Sandwiched by Hayden. And a clear left-hand side for Connor Brown. John Hayden's signature NHL moment, Bob.
Is it a fight?
The roundhouse punch that dropped Marcus Foligno. Here's Montour stepping up a slapper through Rodrigue, and he scores. Rodrigue got a piece, but it nestled just over the goal line through Rodrigue, trickles over, and it's 3-2 Kraken. Montour belted that slapper from above the right circle and got enough on it to make it 3-2.
Look, Montour's got offensive ability, double-digit goals in his career before, but Olivier Rodrigue would be the first guy to tell you he's got to have that. I mean, they've got 4 shots on goal here in the period, and they got 3 goals. The Oilers needed a save there.
John Hayden will get the assist. He was not even supposed to be in the lineup. Montour scored 16 goals a couple years ago. Tailed off to 8 last year, but he missed a handful of games. And now Seattle back in front 3-2. And as Bob mentioned, 3 goals on 4 shots against Rodrigue here in the second period. Alexiak wrists it around the boards. Hard check by Drake Kajula. Bjorkstrand right-hand side. And now fired through the middle. Tolvanen hands off Shane Wright. Rich shot score. 4-2. And Seattle regains its 2-goal lead. And that's 4 goals on 5 shots against Olivier Rodrigue here in the second period. In 35 seconds. Right second of the period.
Well, this will be a team that knows Olivier Rodrigue. You know, Coachella Valley played a ton against Bakersfield down in the American League. Disco Dan Bilesma would have a scouting report on him.
Matty Beniers, after the draw, tried to hit Stevenson, taken away by Draisaitl. Ahead to Victor Arvidsson, back to Draisaitl, centering past Jeff Skinner, lays it off to Darnell Nurse. He'll wind it along the boards. Arvidsson out to Travis Dermott. He has a goal here in the second period. This one pinballs to the corner. Seattle looking to protect in its own end. And finally, it's Stevenson. Seeing a cross-seamer deflected, but harmlessly outside the zone, and Edmonton a reset back inside its own blue line. Stevenson with a giveaway. Draisaitl with 7 seconds to go. Moves it ahead for Arvidsson. Back to Draisaitl. 5 seconds. Arvidsson, one-timer save. Grubauer rebound. Still loose, and Dermott almost had a second goal, but he had it stopped. I believe Vince Dunn might have saved a goal there, Bob. Again, Dermott with the instincts to get to the front of the net at the horn, and he had a look, only to see it stopped by an alert Vince Dunn, and Edmonton sees the horn go and will be in arrears by a count of 4-2 heading to the final 20 minutes. A wild second period in the sense that the Oilers continued to outplay Seattle, particularly at 5-on-5. 16 second period shots. They got the 1 power play goal from Draisaitl, then scored at even strength from Dermott to tie the game. But Seattle, despite just 5 shots in the period and 12 for the game, able to convert 4 of its 5 shots on goal, and a healthy 4-2 lead heading to the final period.
Got to come up with a couple more saves.
Not the lasting impression Olivier Rodrigue wanted. And, Bob, I would suggest there was an importance behind this start, because while we think Calvin Pickard will be ready for next week, there's no guarantee. And, you know, there's no guarantee that Calvin Pickard can continue to play the kind of hockey he did last year. It was fantastic.
There might have been an opportunity, and, you know, the Oilers ended up...
Rodrigue is not going to want to close on that kind of performance in the second period. We're not laying it at the feet of him entirely, but obviously 1 save on 5 shots isn't going to cut it.
No, it's not going to cut it. And the Oilers did some real good things in that period. Maybe guilty a little bit. I mean, I take a look at the second goal. Could the combination of Kulak and Brown play that differently? Yes. Kulak turns the puck over. Brown is unable to stop a pass coming out from the sideboards to the front of the net.
And the first goal is a perfect tip by Tannen. You can't blame
Rodrigue can do that, but you'd like a stop on one of the 2 shots, either the third goal or the fourth goal. It's that simple. So Oilers got some chasing to do in a game that they haven't played that poorly in, but it's preseason.
Shots are 24, make it 23-12. It looks like they've taken 1 off the board, but still a healthy 15-5 bulge in that second period for the Oilers in terms of the shots on net. They're 1 for 4 on the power play. Seattle's 0 for 3, but the Kraken with 4 even strength goals in the second period on 5 shots, and they've taken a 4-2 lead. Draisaitl a goal and an assist tonight. Travis Dermott has played well and nearly got his second of the night in the waning seconds of that second period. We'll have the third period in about 15 minutes time. First up, Rob Brown and Bryn Griffiths back in our 630 CHED Studios, flagship home of the Oilers Radio Network, where through 40 minutes you've heard Seattle build a 4-2 lead over Edmonton. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
MIC is a leader in medical imaging and the official medical imaging provider to the Edmonton Oilers. Make MIC your choice. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, the game doesn't stop for injury. MIC's sports medicine imaging specialists can help you get back in the game with a timely and expert diagnosis. Go where the pros go. For a location near you, visit mic.ca.
It's our YEG with 630 Chad.
630 Ched is proud to support Kissin' Country for Yards for Hope in support of Hope Mission. To donate, please visit hopemission.com/radiothon because hope begins with a meal at Hope Mission. Then experience an unforgettable night with Andre Philippe Gagnon, October 19th at Casino Yellowhead's Pearl Showroom. Get your tickets now for a night of laughter and memories.
For details on these and more events, visit 630ched.com. At the Intermission, brought to you by Hand of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
McDavid left circle, tried to feed the front of the net. That was broken up. Came back to him, threw it across. Draisaitl to the middle. Nugent-Hopkins. McDavid. Draisaitl one-timer to score. And Edmonton whips it around and eventually gets on the board with Draisaitl finishing off the power play for his first goal of the preseason. The Oilers within 2-1.
Wow, did they ever throw it around on that power play? That's our highlight zone goal, which is brought to you by Century Casinos. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos with 3 great locations here in the metro area. Edmonton, St. Albert, and right next to the Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the Winter Zone. Bryn Griffiths back here at the 630 Ched Studios.
Make it 3.
And joining me is Rob Brown. That was kind of a weird period because I actually felt after that maybe just a little bit before that power play goal. I know it was a 5-on-3, but they seemed to be getting a little bit of momentum, and then they had momentum after that, come back, tie it up, and then give up 2 goals in 35 seconds late in that period, and all of a sudden now they're trailing 4-2.
Well, the Oilers fell behind by 2, and then they started pushing, and when they push, they usually create power play opportunities, and Seattle took a couple silly, needless tripping penalties that gave the Oilers the 5-on-3 power play, but their penalty killers were doing a really good job. They stymied the Oilers 5-on-3. It had gone to 5-on-4, and they were probably going to escape it, and then they turned the puck over. The Seattle had the puck in front of their own net. They could have easily got the puck out, but there was panic, and there's a lot of panic when the puck's in front of your crease, and the Kraken defenseman didn't look. He throws it away in his own zone. That gave the Oilers a second chance with the power play, with the puck in the offensive zone, and they just whipped it around. And I know that Bob on air said it's like street hockey, and it is, because at that point you're freewheeling. There's no set plays. You've got chaos. The Kraken defenders are dead tired, and eventually it ends up on the best power play goal scorer in the National Hockey League stick, and that's Leon Draisaitl. He hits a wide open net. So at that point you're like, okay, it's all Edmonton. And then, for the first time this preseason, the second line, Arvidsson, Skinner, and Leon put together a really good shift. They move the puck around. They've got the Kraken all over the place. And then Travis Dermott, who's trying to earn a contract, sneaks in, gets his own rebound, and all of a sudden it's 2-2. Shots are 21-10, and you're thinking, all right.
Here we go. Yeah.
And then disaster struck.
Well, it was a tough one, obviously, for Rodrigue to give up the one. But we were talking, off air about the fact that he let a guy blast away from the top of the circle, and he got most of it. But that puck still had a lot going on it.
Well, you got Montour, fresh off his Stanley Cup win in Florida, but he's a very good offensive defenseman. He came from his own zone, flying up the ice, going as fast as he can, and he's able to walk into a slap shot from the top of the circle. Now, Rodrigue came out and took up most of the net. It went through him. Now, you see a puck go through a goal, you think, well, he should have it. But this was a guy taking a bomb of a slap shot from 15 feet out.
Yeah.
It squeaks through sometimes. And then to make matters worse, the very next shift, 35 seconds later, Shane Wright comes in. And it's funny, you and I are watching the game together, and you could see that develop, and I was like, uh-oh.
Here we go.
And 5 seconds later, it's in the back of the net. You just could see what was happening. You've got a goalie at that point had made 1 save on 4 shots in the period, had given up 3, and here comes shot number 5. And I had a good buddy of mine who texted, Olivia Rodrigue would want to be anywhere in the world right now but in net, because things have not gone his way here in the second period, and they didn't. And that one maybe he should have had, but you've got to make a save. 1 save on 5 shots in the second period. That was a period that the Oilers dominated, and somehow they're going into the third period down by 2.
We'll see whether or not they're able to get some momentum back here in the third period, but they're trailing in this hockey game 4-2 to the Kraken in Seattle after 40 minutes of play. At the Intermission is brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring. We're coming back with more right after a news update on the Ford Dealers Oilers Radio Network.
At Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, they recommend pairing locally distilled spirits and their ice-cold beer selection with... And Oilers win! Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, proud partners and fans of the Edmonton Oilers. Please enjoy responsibly.
When the Oilers are on the ice, the big hits are a part of the game. But they shouldn't be a part of your drive. If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown & Associates and their over 200 years of combined injury law experience help you. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown & Associates is ready to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Did you know that there are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been doing so for more than 50 years? Since Napa first opened in Edmonton, the community has grown and vehicles have changed, but you can always trust Napa Auto Parts to provide you with the expert know-how and the best vehicle parts. And if that isn't enough, every time you visit a Napa Auto Parts store when you present your AMA card, you receive an additional 10% discount on all retail parts and accessories. Visit your local Napa Auto Parts store for more offers and expert know-how. Napa Auto Parts is a proud fan of the Edmonton Oilers.
At Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, they recommend pairing locally distilled spirits and their ice-cold beer selection with... And Oilers win! Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, proud partners and fans of the Edmonton Oilers. Please enjoy responsibly.
This is Global News at the second intermission. I'm James Dunn. Edmonton police have gained one more tool in their effort against increasing weapons complaints. City Council unanimously voted to ban the sale of knives in corner stores. It could take up to 2 years for this bylaw to be fully implemented. A number of First Nations are raising concerns about high levels of arsenic, mercury, and iron around a dock in the heart of Fort Chipewyan that First Nation leaders claim the federal government knew about. Transport Canada tells Global News it has completed a risk assessment in 2017 and found no likely risk to human health and wildlife. In the House of Commons, the federal Liberals have angered the Bloc Québécois after rejecting a motion to increase old age security pensions for younger seniors by 10%. Leader Yves-François Blanchet is threatening to move toward an early election as soon as next week. I'm James Dunn. You can stay up to date on all of our stories over on 630ched.com.
Sportsnet Plus is your ultimate destination for Oilers games. Stream more matchups than anywhere else. Spectacular! Catch Oilers action all season. Plans starting at $19.99 a month. Subscribe now at sportsnetplus.ca.
Have you ever thought about what's on the bottom of your sneaker that was jammed up between the grooves, just biding its time and waiting for the perfect moment to dig into your beautiful floor? No? Never thought about that? And you should never have to when you buy flooring made for life at End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Right now, save on flooring that's made for spills, pets, and anything that life throws at you. And it looks amazing. Use our visualizer to see for yourself at endoftheroll.com. Find flooring for life at End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
From your home to the ice rink, ATCO Energy is there. As the official energy provider of Rogers Place, we're also proud partners of the Edmonton Oilers. ATCO Energy, powering your place. Customers are free to purchase natural gas services or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822.
Sportsnet Plus is your ultimate destination for Oilers games. Stream more matchups than anywhere else. Spectacular! Catch Oilers action all season. Plans starting at $19.99 a month. Subscribe now at sportsnetplus.ca.
At the Intermission, brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring
Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Brendan Griffiths back here at the 6:30 CHED Studios. Let's take a look at what's going on around the league tonight. 5 games in total, 3 are complete. It's time for the out-of-town scoreboard, which is brought to you by Pizza 73, official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. Okay, the games that are complete, we saw the Panthers beating the Lightning tonight 2-1. Jonathan Marchessault with 2 goals, helping the Predators to a 6-4 victory over the Carolina Hurricanes. And Nino Niederreiter with a couple of goals for the Jets tonight, as they knocked off the Calgary Flames 5-2. The other game, other than the one we're kind of keeping a closer eye on, is the Ducks with a 2-1 lead over Utah. That one is at the completion of 40 minutes of play. Oilers were in there. It was pretty tight there in that second period, but the Kraken blew it wide open with 2 goals 35 seconds apart late in the second period, and they take a 4-2 lead to the locker room as we get ready for period number 3. Hey, got to tell you what's going on in Major League Baseball tonight, too. In the wild card matchups, we had Atlanta losing to San Diego 5-4. That means the Padres win that best of 3, 2-0. In the other National League wild card matchup, how about Milwaukee? 5-3 winners over the New York Mets today. That ties up that series at 1. Over in the American League, Kansas City Royals win the series 2-0 thanks to a 2-1 victory over the Baltimore Orioles. And in the other matchup, the Detroit Tigers, wow, good for them, 5-2 over the Houston Astros. Tigers win that series 2-0. So the baseball playoffs continue, and looking forward to one deciding matchup coming up tomorrow night with Milwaukee at home against the New York Mets. So that is your out-of-town scoreboard, which is brought to you by Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. Oilers, the top 2 lines, noticeable tonight. The second line starting to pick up a little bit of speed after 40 minutes of play. We can tell you that. We'll be watching a little more closely coming up in the third period. And also, don't forget, Oilers still have one more preseason matchup, and that's coming up on Friday night. They're in Vancouver to take on the Canucks, and that'll wrap up the preseason for the Oilers. And then a week tonight, it's the Oilers home opener against the Winnipeg Jets at Rogers Place. And we can right now, I think everybody is just about tired of preseason, so we're really looking forward to that one. That is an 8 o'clock start. So we'll be on the air with our pregame show on 880 CHED, I might add, that evening. So that's pretty much it for this intermission as the players are returning to the ice. The third period is on the way. At the Intermission is brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring. We're back with more from Seattle right here on the Ford Dealers Oilers Radio Network.
At the Intermission has been brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Looking for custom flags, banners, or canopy tents? Aurora Flags and Banners has a dedicated team to provide you with custom solutions and quality products. Aurora Flags has proudly serviced Canadian businesses and organizations for more than 30 years. Get a quote today at auroraflags.com.
Businesses deserve the best protection against cyber threats. Alltech offers state-of-the-art IT and cybersecurity solutions to safeguard digital assets. The team of experts at Alltech are dedicated to providing the highest level of security, ensuring that data remains safe and operations are seamless. With Alltech, businesses can focus on growth while the rest is handled. From advanced threat detection to comprehensive data security, Alltech has it covered. Choose Alltech for reliable and effective cybersecurity. Visit alt-tech.ca now to learn more.
Nuges Nuggets. This is Nuges Nuggets, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. What nugget of heating and cooling advice does Nuge have today?
You can save a lot of money by bundling your new furnace and AC with Legacy. It's kind of like saving money on an endorsement by bundling me, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, with someone like, Zachary Martin Hyman.
Thanks for suggesting me, Nuge. Get no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new AC and furnace from Legacy Heating and Cooling. Proud sponsor of Nuges Nuggets.
Looking for custom flags, banners, or canopy tents? Aurora Flags and Banners has a dedicated team to provide you with custom solutions and quality products. Aurora Flags has proudly serviced Canadian businesses and organizations for more than 30 years. Get a quote today at auroraflags.com.
Stay connected with 630 CHED via your smart speakers. It's as easy as telling your favorite virtual assistant, play 630 CHED. Listen in on smart speakers and stay informed throughout the day with up-to-the-minute news, talk, sports, and more. 630 CHED. You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
Back at Seattle's Climate Pledge Arena, Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer with you as part of our continuing coverage of Edmonton Oilers hockey once again on 630 CHED, although this is our penultimate podcast ever on 630. We're going to be moving over to 880 in time for the regular season opener. So if you're on 880 already, perfect. You don't need to do anything. If you've gotten into the habit of finding us on 630, flip it over to 880, maybe starting Friday with the preseason finale against the Vancouver Canucks. We'll have that for you at 8 Mountain, because come a week from tonight, we'll be on 880 forever. Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer with you. 4-2 Seattle, third period, preseason game number 7 for the Oilers, who check in with a record of 3-3. Adam Henrique will take the opening draw against Matty Beniers. Matthias Janmark and Connor Brown. Henrique's line mates, Kulak and Brown defensively, and Olivier Rodrigue peppered for 4 goals on 5 shots in that second period in net. Kulak staggers his way across the line after an opening faceoff won by Henrique, but then he lost the handle on Brandon Tanev, who opened the scoring for Seattle, and the game in the second period relieved of the puck by Kulak, stole it right back. All 6 goals scored in that second period, 4 belonging to Seattle. The speed of Connor Brown negates a potential icing call on a stretch from Kulak, and now Adam Henrique leaves it for Connor Brown, right circle. Back to Henrique, gliding his way behind the net out to Darnell Nurse. Opening minute, third period, a shot sent wide from distance by Dermott, who has one of the 2 Oiler goals. The other came on the power play from Draisaitl. Henrique has it swatted away by Tanev. Matty Beniers collects at center ice. He'll make sure to get it in deep against Henrique and Nurse. And line changes coming for both hockey clubs. Dermott and Nurse, who've not practiced together much. This, of course, Darnell Nurse's preseason debut. And Dermott, a last look here potentially on a PTO for the Edmonton Oilers. Paired together tonight.
He's been good.
Skinner will shoot it in. Scored 1 goal, nearly had another at the horn at the end of the second period. Jaden Schwartz picks up a loose puck in his own zone for Seattle. Turned over by Montour. Bouchard steps up after making the steal to Draisaitl. Right side of the net. Takes it behind. Arvidsson, one-timer, and that was hammered off the right shoulder of Philip Grubauer by Matthias Ekholm. He got all parts of that 6'4", 215-pound frame into that heavy one-timer. I think that stung Grubauer a bit.
There's no question. He's shaking it off from the pipes there.
Montour will shoot it in. He beat Rodrigue for Seattle's 4th goal of that second period. Borgen unable to snatch that puck away before it exited the zone. So offside is the call against Seattle 2 minutes into this third period. The Edmonton Oilers trailing by a score of 4-2.
Well, we'll see how Rodrigue responds. He's given up 4 goals here and 12 shots in this game.
Off the draw, Borgen steps into a slapper as he entered the zone from the right-hand side. Sailed it high and wide. Launched back toward the Oiler net by Riker Evans. Settled by Rodrigue. Kulak. Man draped all over him was Oliver Bjorkstrand, rather. One-time Columbus Blue Jacket. Borgen and Evans trade the puck in their own zone. Advance through to Bjorkstrand. He'll kick it back. Bjorkstrand's coming off a career year at 59 points last season. And that was one of the few offensive seasons that Seattle would say was above average. Eberle had a tough year offensively. Beniers, Yanni Gord a little bit further down the lineup. Andre Burakovsky wasn't healthy again. Here's Adam Larsson from the right point. A weak little wrist shot flicked into the corner for Rodrigue, but nevertheless a save and one he badly needed. Lobbed up the left-hand side by Nurse. Settled on one bounce by Larsson. Right wing punch forward by Winterton. And here's Yanni Gord, ridden back into the right corner boards by Nurse. Gord tried to stay with it. Eventually it came free for Derek Ryan. Noah Philp able to backhand it over to Nurse, and now the outlet for Ryan left wing. Derek Ryan, stutter step. Left circle. Outfoxes Larson with a backhander short side. Flicked away by goaltender Philip Grubauer, and now Larson able to reset with 4 minutes gone by in the period. Ahead to Jordan Eberle. Right wing over the line, Matty Beniers. Pressure, tried to shovel it through Nurse, unsuccessful in that endeavor. Henrique tried to reverse it through Nurse and over to Josh Brown. That did not pan out, and now Seattle able to free the puck up along the right corner boards. Hacked away from Janmark, who stayed with it, and eventually located Brown for a clear up the right-hand side. Alexiak didn't get enough on it. Brown forechecking hard, trying to create a turnover. Alexiak given a second opportunity, this time ahead for Jaden Schwartz. Montour jumps up in the play. Schwartz takes a pass right wing. Peers inside looking for Burakovsky. Nothing there. Gives it up. Fired across to Montour by Vince Dunn. Stevenson. Shot from distance, Schwartz. Juicy rebound issued by Rodrigue. I mean, he put it right on Burakovsky's stick. No reason to. Not much on that shot, but gets bailed out by Brown's deflection on a pass intended to Jaden Schwartz.
Seattle's picked up the tempo here, Jack. I think Dan Bilesman knows they were very lucky to be up 4-2 after 2. The Oilers outplayed them badly. They're moving their feet here in the third.
Schwartz left-hand side. Dunn steps up with a wrist shot off the pads of Rodrigue. But there's where, as a goaltender, you can help your team out by not giving them second and third chances on shots that have no business bouncing off your pads. The Oilers are going to be offside here, coming over the line right to left. Arvidsson on a pass that was deflected was kind of lured over the line offside as the timing of the play disrupted.
All right, now, I mean, this is as deep into the preseason as Olivier Rodrigue's been here.
Which means more NHL quality shooters.
Yes. And he's a smaller goaltender.
Nugent Hopkins gliding off the draw, launching ahead for Hyman. That puck took a bounce, eluded Hyman, and was cleared by Shane Wright, who has a pair tonight for Seattle. Tolvanen in on the forecheck against Travis Dermott. Fends him off. Nugent Hopkins cross ice. Finds Hyman in front of the Oiler bench. Turned over and regained by Nugent Hopkins inside his own blue line. Oilers right to left in this third period, trailing 4-2. McDavid to Hyman, little give and go. Borgen over to intercept. Riker Evans with a clear back to center. Cross ice Brown had it tipped away by John Hayden. Loose in front of the Oiler bench. Wrestled free by Winterton, but cleared by Nurse ahead for McDavid. Pressure from Gord. He'll give it up to Brown. Derek Ryan at center ice had it and lost it. Slashed free for Yanni Gord. Nurse defending. Gord tried to change a pace to no avail. Nurse read it well. He's looked solid for his preseason debut. And now Derek Ryan and Drake Caggiula bust out right to left. Here's Caggiula down the wing. Penalty coming against Seattle. Centering pass, and that was deflected in the corner.
Drake Caggiula might be hurt here, Jack.
He went tumbling into the boards awkwardly and is struggling to gain his feet. And this, unfortunately for Drake, has been the story of his 9-year career. But this time he's able to rise and will skate off under his own power. In the meantime, we've got a high sticking call coming with 13-12 to play in this third period. The Seattle Kraken, with a 4-2 lead over the Edmonton Oilers, will be on a power play for the 5th time tonight. John Hayden to the box, 2 minutes for high sticking, and the Oilers down 2, but an Atco power play on the other side. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
At Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, they recommend pairing locally distilled spirits and their ice-cold beer selection with... And Oilers win! Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, proud partners and fans of the Edmonton Oilers. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. You know what I'm a fan of? Alberta. The wide open spaces, the highways and byways, and a rugged, beautiful terrain that I'm proud to call home. Maybe that's why I'm also a fan of my Ford F-150. It's tough, capable, and smart, which makes it a natural fit for roads like these. So if it's a new truck you're looking for, look no further than the truck Albertans love to drive, F-150. Head into your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
Blue-collar work deserves big dollar perks. Get a heavy wallet with Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals is hiring heavy equipment technicians, maintenance supervisors, PM servicemen, maintenance coordinators, and pretty much every other position that makes Alberta go. We help move the earth that makes Alberta grow. So why not work for a company that makes your bank account grow too? Visit HeavyMetalEquipment.ca to find your new career. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals, helping you move the earth.
At Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, they recommend pairing locally distilled spirits and their ice-cold beer selection with... And Oilers win! Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, proud partners and fans of the Edmonton Oilers. Please enjoy responsibly.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Draisaitl starts the power play with a face-off win. Bouchard and Nugent-Hopkins trade up top, but one extra pass from Nugent-Hopkins eludes Bouchard, and the Oilers have to fall back to the neutral zone. Hyman waiting at the blue line as McDavid skates it in. Oilers 1 for 4 on the power play tonight. Here's Draisaitl with a drag move past Yanni Gord. McDavid from the corner out to Bouchard, right circle, left circle. Nugent-Hopkins gives it back to him, showing one-timer. McDavid instead tries the extra pass. The tip by Alexiak, the keep by Draisaitl, and now McDavid back to Bouchard. Draisaitl high slot, a drive, and that blocked by Brandon Tanev, and he's hurt. Draisaitl 5 on 3.5 right now. Fires again into traffic, and Yanni Gord is able to send it back to center, and now they're going to have to whistle this play dead, and Brandon Tanev, unable to put any weight on that right foot, will come off, and his night likely done. He doesn't want to go underneath, but he's being talked into it. And as a result, the Oilers away to face off in the neutral zone. Tanev again opened the scoring with a beautiful high tip over Rodrigues' right shoulder. Seattle went up 2-0. Draisaitl, a power play goal and an assist on Dermott's equalizer. It was tied at 2 with 2 minutes to play in the second period, but Montour and Wright scored 35 seconds apart, and that's where we sit right now. Kraken up 4-2. They win the neutral zone faceoff. Stevenson does the honors against Draisaitl, and it's driven up the right-hand side by Adam Larson. Oilers at power play. Back through the neutral zone. Draisaitl hits the onrushing McDavid, shoots into the glove of Philip Grubauer, one of his best saves of the night. Because McDavid got some good action on that wrist shot off the rush, and that high riser gloved by Grubauer. 4-2, Seattle, 12:06 to play.
This is the best Grubauer's looked for a while. I mean, he mentioned the game last year, his close game.
But he didn't get a lot of work. That was mostly Stuart Skinner. Face-off win for Draisaitl. Nugent-Hopkins from Bouchard. Down low, left corner is McDavid. Circling the net, using a screen from Draisaitl. Bouchard faking one-timer. McDavid another shot, and that one was blocked. And the rebound trickles out of the zone, and with 35 seconds to go on the power play, here comes McDavid up through center. Nugent-Hopkins left wing gains the line. Dropped it for Bouchard. Cuts to his right around Stevenson. Lets it sit for Draisaitl. Then back to Bouchard, top of the right circle, looking for a lane. Draisaitl right face-off dot. McDavid on the goal line. Centering pass, tip back to McDavid. Bouchard again, faking one-timer. McDavid in front. Hyman tried to throw it to the middle. Broken up, intended for Nugent-Hopkins. Another attempted clear. Winterton did not get it out. Bouchard, McDavid in front. Tipped by Hyman off the pads of Grubauer. Nugent-Hopkins to McDavid. Left face-off dot. Loading, dishing off the right skate of Draisaitl. He just was a little off with that pass was McDavid. Gave it back to Draisaitl, and this time fishing for a one-timer, unable to make contact with the puck, and Stevenson able to wedge it safely through the neutral zone. Kulak gathers, and with 10:50 remaining in this third period, the Oilers remain in a 4-2 hole. Skinner from Josh Brown. Down low, right-hand side, first on the puck. Brandon Montour for Seattle. Eberle, open ice for Beniers. Left circle wrist shot and a save made by Olivier Rodrigue. His 13th of the night, 10:30 to go, third period. And Seattle maintaining a 4-2 lead.
Who do you think's been the best hockey player that's ever played in Seattle?
The best hockey player that's ever played in Seattle. Are we talking Kraken or ever?
Ever. Kyle Fielder? Did you put him up there? For a while, he was probably the best player in the old WH.
Did Willie O'Ree play out here? Or was that San Diego?
I think he was in San Diego. Fielder was...
Well, what about all the Thunderbirds that came
Peter
through?
Nedved was a pretty good Seattle Thunderbird back in the day. Patrick Marleau.
Yeah, that might be the guy. All-time leader in games played.
Yeah.
Here's Tolvanen for the Seattle Kraken. And a shot let fly by Montour to the middle of the ice. A wrist shot deflected off of Eberle. Tolvanen took the shot. That one off the right skate of Eberle. Noah Philp able to come up with a puck. Kulak unable to barrel his way through traffic. Philp came back into Tolvanen, freed it up for Skinner, and a one-touch on to Josh Brown. Philp jamming off the boards, back through the middle. Vince Dunn picked off by Connor Brown to Josh Brown and back to Connor Brown. Darting around Eberle. Pulling to a stop, top of the left circle offensive zone for Edmonton. Adam Henrique behind the net, Matthias Janmark. Janmark and Brown, 4 goals, 12 points last year during the regular season, found their game into the postseason. Here's Travis Dermott again, finding himself around the Seattle net. He scored a goal, nearly had another. He and Connor Brown able to work. Again, former teammates in Toronto. Battled for, controlled by Adam Henrique. Here's Connor Brown, tried to go short side to Henrique. That was broken up and put into the protective mesh by Montour. They're going to say it was tipped, so no delay of game. And keep in mind, that's a rule change this year. If it's called a penalty, you can review it. The one thing you can't review, of course, is if you think it should have been a penalty. You can't challenge that. 4-2, Seattle, 9:10 to play, third period. Shane Wright with a pair for the Kraken. They lead by a deuce. We're live at Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle with Ford Dealers NHL preseason hockey. The Oilers Radio Network.
At Fountain Tire, we love jingles. Get up to 25% off select tires.
Until October 19th.
Plus a bonus $50 off any service of $150.
Restrictions apply.
Book online today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together.
Our people, our team. It's what business owners almost always say is their most important resource. But strong businesses don't just find great people. They make sure their teams stay healthy, engaged, and performing at their best. A benefits plan from Alberta Blue Cross is more than just drug and dental. They support the whole person with flexible coverage levels that fit the size and circumstance of your business. Find a plan that gets results at ab.bluecross.ca.
Athletes know that to advance your career, you've got to be part of a winning team. So, what about you? Are you working for a winning team? Well, here's your chance to do just that. Brandt is a strong and stable industry leader with career opportunities across Canada. We have hundreds of positions available right now, from parts, sales, positioning technology, heavy-duty mechanics, and more. Be a part of a winning team. Earn your stripes by joining Brandt today. Find out more at BrandtJobs.com.
At Fountain Tire, we love jingles. Get up to 25% off select tires.
Until October 19th.
Plus a bonus $50 off any service of $150.
Restrictions apply.
Book online today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
4-2 hockey game in favor of Seattle. We welcome you back to the live action here in the third period. Off the draw, Oliver Bjorkstrand for Seattle. Tied up as he hit the Edmonton line by Matthias Janmark. Shane Wright rubbed out by Darnell Nurse. Wright has a pair of goals for Seattle. Kraken have never trailed, have led 2-0 and now 4-2. In between, Draisaitl with a power play goal and an assist on this man, Travis Dermott's game-tying goal. However, the game did not remain tied for long. Oilers bottled up in their own zone here. Nurse and Bjorkstrand grappling for puck possession. Adam Henrique joins the fray. to the right side of Olivier Rodrigue, who gave up 4 goals on 5 shots in what could prove to be a decisive second period here tonight. Oilers were offside as they came over the line. Henrique and Connor Brown, and Riker Evans will take advantage for Seattle, going on a skate and ultimately putting it up the left-hand side for Matty Beniers. Back to Evans. McDavid on the ice with Nugent Hopkins and Zach Hyman, and a turnover forced by Ekholm. Nugent Hopkins, left-hand side, reeled in a beat by Eberle, who, of course, broke into the league the year before Nugent Hopkins. For years, it was Eberle, Nugent Hopkins, and Taylor Hall that often gave Edmonton the only glimmers of hope in one heavyweight matchup after another, with then Pacific Division stalwarts L.A., Anaheim, San Jose. Here's Bouchard off the ruck. A wrist shot and a save made by Grubauer, and the rebound pounded back to center. Matthias Ekholm at his own blue line. Nugent Hopkins floats one back into the corner. Yanni Gord will leave it for Vince Dunn. Gord around McDavid. Lead pass picked off by Bouchard. Turned over by Nugent Hopkins in the middle of the ice. Brandon Tanev, who's back and apparently okay after taking that hard shot in the ankle. Went underneath, recovered, and he's back. Vince Dunn, miscommunication with Adam Larson, and Noah Philp tries to take advantage. Ryan in on the forecheck as well, but Gord a clear to Tanev, and he bumps his way through by Brett Kulak. Drake Caggiula back to gather for Edmonton. Up the right-hand side, Derek Ryan did not get it out. Centering pass, and a save made on Alexiak by Rodrigue. A second chance, stopped by Josh Brown, and here comes Noah Philp the other way. A 2-on-1 with Drake Caggiula. Philp shoots, and that went off the goalpost. Rebound, Derek Ryan. Back to Dermott. Now Nurse biding his time in the high slot. Looks for a lane. A shot. Tip. Caggiula. Philp a shot. Right pad save made by Grubauer. Philp 2 good chances in the last 20 seconds. One off the post and one of Grubauer's best saves moments ago on Noah Philp finding the puck in traffic. 6 minutes and change remaining here in the third period. Long pass will turn into an icing call against Dermott. Should have gotten a touch there. Did not. And the whistle goes with 6:05 to go in the third period. And I know you're in anguish, Bob, but Noah Philp continues to be in the right spots.
Yeah, no, there's no... He doesn't cheat the game. He's always there in defensive low support. He was perfect in face-offs through 2 periods. I know he was -2. He stepped on the ice on the one long-range goal, and then Caggiula went to the wrong man on the second long-range goal to beat Rodrigue, and he just made 2 great offensive plays.
Evans off the draw. A one-timer that went off the pads of Rodrigue. Nice play by Jeff Skinner to get it to Draisaitl. Arvidsson right wing. Tried to center. Broken up by Will Borgen. Less than 6 minutes to play in regulation. Edmonton trails 4-2 in its 7th preseason game. The Kraken came in at 1-3-1. This is their 6th and final preseason tilt. The Oilers have one more Friday night in Vancouver. We'll have it for you at 8 Mountain. Skinner, what'd you want to tell me?
Well, Riker Evans just cross-checked Leon Draisaitl. He keeps that up. He's going to get one back here at some point.
Chandler Stevenson streaks down the left-hand side. Around Arvidsson and Dermott. Heads for the net. Rodrigue waits. Stevenson eventually out to Larson. Now Vince Dunn. His shot. Swatted home. Jaden Schwartz. 5-2 Seattle. And that should do it. You put the puck in an area, and I think it was Jaden Schwartz who got to that puck. Vince Dunn threw it into the area, and either Rodrigue put it in his own net or Schwartz got enough to deflect it by him.
Well, they've made him count tonight, haven't they? Yeah, that was Schwartz all the way, I think. On a deflection redirection.
I thought so. Seattle 5, Edmonton 2. Vince Dunn off the draw. The give to Tolvanen, and now Shane right through the middle of the ice. Well defended by Matthias Ekholm. Henrique knocked off balance. Dunn up the left-hand side. Tolvanen looking for Wright, who, of course, would be bidding for a hat trick, but he couldn't reel in that pass and is erased in the corner by Ekholm. Played back to Larson, over to Vince Dunn. Now Jordan Eberle. Wrist shot. Deflected wide. Schwartz from Dunn and Larson. And the Seattle Kraken, after Edmonton briefly tied the game at 2 late in the second period, have scored 3 more goals. 5 goals on 21 shots against Olivier Rodrigue. Grubauer has turned aside 28 of 30. Here's Connor McDavid working his way through the neutral zone across the line. Nugent Hopkins. Brown, a one-timer, was blocked. Rebound McDavid, left circle. Feathers it in front. Tipped by Hyman on net. Save Grubauer. Rebound to Jordan Eberle. Tied up with Kulak as we dip inside. 4 minutes to play. Kulak skating high slot, looking for a lane. Shot blocked by Montour. Rebound turned and cleared by Ryan Winterton. 3rd round pick of the Kraken 3 years ago. Kulak pulls up in his own zone, drops it off to Darnell Nurse. Friday's preseason finale, you'd figure the full dress rehearsal with guys like Corey Perry, Vasily Podkolzin, and Ty Emberson drawing back into the lineup for the Edmonton Oilers. Stuart Skinner will get the call on the pipes.
Jack, I was a little surprised we didn't see Emerson with Draisaitl tonight, or with Nurse tonight. They haven't played together yet.
Yeah, especially since they've been practicing together. You'd love to perhaps get an extra rep of in-game chemistry. But on the other hand, it's hard to argue that Dermott hasn't earned the opportunity as well. Here's Borgen, a one-timer score, set up by Tanev from the left corner. And Borgen stepped up to the right face-off dot and beat Rodrigue. 6-2 Seattle.
Borgen's going to be an interesting guy to watch. You could, Seattle, if they're a playoff team, they think the right side of their defense by adding Montour, having Adam Larson as a shutdown guy, and Borgen's a hard-nosed guy to play against. That's put up 20 points the last couple of years. He can skate. He's got a low center of gravity. And it's not a great goal. That's the other part of the equation. Jack, that's just not a great goal.
Tough night for Olivier Rodrigue. And we've got a penalty for interference coming against Edmonton here with 2:40 to go in the hockey game.
Edmonton 14.
Ekholm will go to the box. And we will take one final break from Seattle's Climate Pledge Arena. The Kraken have broken it open. It's 6-2 Seattle. 2 minutes, 40 seconds to go. And a Seattle power play when we come back. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Believing in yourself takes confidence. At Portage College, 93% of grads say their education gave them the skills and knowledge they needed for their careers. That's the kind of confidence that leads to great results. Learn more at portagecollege.ca.
Chemco is building industry across Canada, and now they're on the lookout for civil and electrical project managers, estimators, and superintendents to join their dedicated team. Why Chemco? Because Chemco cares. They put people first, offering top-tier compensation packages and an unwavering commitment to safety. At Chemco, safety isn't just a priority, it's everybody's business. Ready to be part of a team that truly values you? Visit chemco.com/careers today.
It's crunch time for your taste buds. Because for a limited time, A&W is collabing with Ruffles to bring you the Ruffle Crunch Teen Burger. Your favorite teen burger and your favorite Ruffles cheddar and sour cream chips combined into one unique taste sensation. It's grass-fed beef. It's one-of-a-kind ridges and crunch. Try it in all its teen burger glory or crunch into its equally tasty sidekick, the Ruffles Crunch Buddy Burger for just $4.99. Try one today at your neighborhood A&W.
Portage College graduates are incredibly employable. How does Portage know? 99% of employers surveyed said they would hire a Portage grad. Get career ready at Portage College. Learn more by visiting portagecollege.ca.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
6-2 Seattle. 2 minutes, 40 seconds to play, and the Kraken will be on the power play. And, of course, Dan Bilesma not necessarily looking to run up the score, but the fact remains there's still power play bugs to be worked out. Off the draw, Edmonton's Brett Kulak able to hammer it length of the ice. He's out there with Josh Brown, Victor Arvidsson, and Adam Henrique. Kraken left to right. Jack and Bob with you from Seattle and our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. Scoreless first period. Oilers fell behind 2-0. Tied it on a power play goal by Leon Draisaitl, who then set up Travis Dermott for the equalizer, but Seattle got 2 before the break. Shane Wright scored twice in that second period. Led 4-2 after 2 did the Kraken, and they've just tacked on 2 more here in the third to break it open. Oilers force the Kraken out on the perimeter. Wright, Burakovsky on the right side, cross-seamer, shot Stevenson, save Rodriguez, who's given up 6 goals on 23 shots tonight. Stevenson with 1:40 to play in regulation. Wright thought he was held by Josh Brown. Jaden Schwartz, who scored the 5th goal, to Montour. Burakovsky, and now Stevenson, left circle, cross ice. Burakovsky fired, and that went off the ankle of Arvidsson. He's blocked one on each foot now, I believe,
And
Bob.
he's hurting again.
1:20 to play. 35 seconds left on this Napa Auto Parts penalty kill, which has been a perfect 3 for 3 thus far. Vince Dunn, Matty Beniers, left side Tolvanen trying to get around Dermott. Nurse, Connor Brown, and Matthias Janmark, who just raced over and from the half wall is able to swat that puck all the way back into the Seattle zone. Final rush on the power play for the Kraken. Final minute of the hockey game. Tolvanen, left wing. Challenged by Dermott, kicks it back for Vince Dunn. Tolvanen, side of the net, Jordan Eberle crosses. Bjorkstrand could not handle that puck cleanly. Fumbled it briefly, got it to Eberle. One-timer Tolvanen, and he didn't make clean contact with the puck. Might have broken his stick on the play, Bob. A clear by the Oilers up the left-hand side. Dunn ahead to Bjorkstrand, final 30 seconds. Oilers are back at full strength. Nurse and Ekholm, Dermott, Noah Philp, and Matthias Janmark, the 5 skaters out for Edmonton. 3 D-men. Yanni Gord. Puck worked free. Janmark to Philp from center ice. He'll dump it in. Ekholm and Nurse will change, but it matters not. John Hayden will skate out the remaining 5 seconds with Will Borgen, who scored the 6th and final goal for the Kraken. They win it going away 6-2. Final shots 31-23 for Edmonton. But to give you an idea of the disparity in goaltending tonight over the final 2 periods, the Oilers outshot the Kraken by a count of 23-16, and yet 6 of the 8 goals were scored by Seattle. Final score 6-2. Shane Wright with a pair.
Yeah.
Brandon Montour credited with a game winner as he scored the tie-breaking goal with 1:26 to play in the second period. 35 seconds later, Wright followed with his second of the period, and Seattle tacked on 2 more for good measure in the final 5.5 minutes. 6-2 your final. Bob, I thought it was a night where Edmonton did not play poorly 5-on-5, and in particular, the one thing that really sticks out for me was that shift that Draisaitl, Arvidsson, and Skinner played together 5-on-5. For those wondering whether that second unit might be able to find chemistry early, I thought there were some signs tonight.
There's some guys tonight that ended up dashed to in this hockey game that had real good games. But unfortunately,
Noah Philp was one of them.
Yeah, but again, he did have a good game. And I sit here and I look at a goaltender that, by my count, those are 3 American Hockey League goals that he gave up. Sorry. So I don't mean to be too harsh, but now, the Oilers' power play went 1 for 5. They scored 1 nice one. Maybe that could have been a little bit sharper. The guys.
Grubauer was good tonight.
He was good. And that, you got a number 1 goal. Okay, who's the number 1 goalie here? He's playing the last game. Is that not the
correct?
He's the
numbers-wise, you thought maybe Joey Decord had a shot.
Right.
Now, he didn't play that well in Monday's loss in Calgary, and Decord might have opened the door for Grubauer, who played well tonight.
So, bottom line is, they had their number 1 guy going. The Oilers had their organizational number 3 guy going. First time he's been this far playing in the preseason.
And we thought Calvin Pickard, when the week began,
he was going to play this game.
He was going to play this game.
And former Seattle Thunderbird. So, I think it's kind of tough to assess. I didn't mind some moments for Travis Dermott.
I thought he had a pretty good night, and especially considering the situation he found himself in.
Playing on the right side.
And also with Nurse, who is making his preseason debut.
Yeah.
So these are two players who have not practiced together that much, Bob. We've been at most of the preseason practices, and Nurse and Dermott have not been a pair on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And so I thought Dermott did not look out of place. He actually showed some real instincts around the Seattle net, scored a goal, nearly had another. And again, I go back to that Draisaitl, Arvidsson, Skinner combination. I thought they had their moments tonight.
So, bottom line here, difficult night to totally assess Edmonton just because it looked like there was a goaltender that he was fighting the puck a bit. Let's move on. Get to Vancouver. Final game. I think we know that we're going to see, we're likely going to see, I think, Derek. I might be inclined to put no. I kind of think you already know what you have with Derek Ryan. But if you're going for a true dress rehearsal, maybe Derek Ryan centers, put Colson and Corey Perry. You keep the other three lines together. And then defensively, we've got to see Ty Emerson play with Darnell Nurse at some point here. You keep Ekholm and Bouchard.
Well, I think they'll definitely play together Friday night.
And then, I wonder whether or not, based on tonight, do you give Dermott another look on the right side here, or potentially Stetcher on the right side with Brett Kulak? Or I wondered whether or not Brown was a little bit labored. I'm not making excuses for him. He looked to be a little bit pained on the bench as the game wore on. But for the Oilers, they just want to get on the flight and get over to Vancouver. They'll have a team function type thing tomorrow.
Job-wise, what's on the line Friday? Anything? Or do you think the team has been decided?
Oh, I think the right side of the defense is a little bit in flux right now, Jack. I think that center is the fourth line center position probably is going to be Derek Ryan to start. But Phil, I don't know what he finished, but he was 5-0 in the face-off circle through two periods. Had nothing to do with the two goals that were scored. I mean, both were long-range shots.
I mean, is it possible he could make the opening night roster after not having played pro hockey last year?
Never say never. It'd be quite a crazy, but he's outplayed. And even tonight, I thought he was the best of his line mates that was out on the ice tonight. Now, Derek Ryan was playing right wing. Kajula got a little bit labored. It's probably a long shot, but he didn't. Again, do you put him in against Vancouver where they're going to be dressing all their guys? The Oilers, and then you're playing them with Perry. The reason
but
why...
If you have in your mind that you're starting the season with Ryan, Perry, and Podkolzin,
then you're playing them.
Don't you have to have one final full dress rehearsal?
I'd say you probably do. So, and then if you're going to do that, you might as well have Philp down on the minors, get a couple games in, and then you could potentially recall him a week or two in the season. But he didn't hurt himself tonight, and Dermott did not hurt himself tonight. Brown, another tough night, and and unfortunately for Rodrigue, that did not instill confidence. I think he had an opportunity to maybe do that here, and instead it kind of went the other way for him.
Okay, so bottom line, Bob, you're thinking there could be a spot on the blue line available even going into Friday night's game.
I think that's still, yes.
There you go. Final score tonight, Seattle 6, Edmonton 2. Again, it was Leon Draisaitl with a power play goal and an assist for the Oilers. Travis Dermott had a goal as well. McDavid, Nugent-Hopkins, and Arvidsson with lone assist. Olivier Rodrigue saddled with the loss. He's now 1-2 in the preseason. He finishes his preseason with 15 goals against on 77 shots. Philip Grubauer earns the victory. He turns aside 29 of 31. Shane Wright scored twice tonight. Brandon Montour had the game-winning goal for the Seattle Kraken. That cracked a 2-2 tie late in the second period. Power plays Edmonton 1 of 5, and Seattle was 0 for 4. Good night for the kill as well for the Edmonton Oilers. Now 3-4 in the preseason. Seattle wraps up its preseason log at 2-3-1. The Kraken will open at home next Tuesday. It's opening day in the National Hockey League. That's the front end of a triple hitter. That will be the first NHL game played of this new season. It will be played on Tuesday afternoon. Seattle will play host to the St. Louis Blues. Again, part of a triple letter, Florida, Boston, and the nightcap is Chicago at Utah. Those are the first three games of the NHL season. Of course, the Oilers open their regular campaign a week from tonight at home against Winnipeg. That's an 8 o'clock face-off, and we'll have the final preseason tilt for the Edmonton Oilers against the Vancouver Canucks. It'll be the Oilers 3-4 in the preseason season thus far against the Canucks, who were 2-2-1. Edmonton just beat the Vancouver Canucks 3-2 in a shootout on Monday night. The rematch Friday, 8 o'clock Mountain Time. Bob and I will have the call. Until then, for Bob Stauffer, Reed it was a matter of time before I did that. For Bob Stauffer, Bryn Griffiths, and Rob Brown, I'm Jack Michaels saying good night from Seattle's Climate Pledge Arena. Your final score, the Kraken 6, the Edmonton Oilers 2. Ladies and gentlemen, the pleasure was all ours. The Rogers postgame show starts right now.
Exclusive live interviews, expert analysis, and game highlights. This is the Rogers postgame show. Once again, here's Bob Stauffer on the Oilers Radio Network.
Nurse tried to locate Draisaitl in front. Instead, it's Arvidsson to Jeff Skinner. Back to Arvidsson, left circle. Fires another pass to Draisaitl in front. Redirected. Travis Dermott scores. We apologize for a technical glitch there. It is the preseason after all.
There you go. That is Travis Dermott with the goal. That's a Century Casino highlight zone, all in all games, all season. Century Casino's 3 great locations. Edmonton, St. Albert, next to the Edmonton International Airport at Century Mile. Welcome to the winter zone. That's as good as it got for the Oilers. They tied it at 2, 4 unanswered by Seattle, 3 maybe. That Olivier Rodrigue, if he really looks at it, would say maybe got to have those. From the Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth, this is the Rogers postgame show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Be a savvy Edmonton hotel shopper. Book through Edmonton'sBestHotels.com and receive up to $225 in cash rewards. There are over 55 member hotels to choose from, offering their best value rates. Edmonton'sBestHotels.com. Rewards with every booking.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. As a musician, I'm drawn to the sounds of this great province. Whether it's the wind blowing down the Rockies, the rustling of grass across the prairie, or the sweet sound of a Ford Super Duty, it's all music to my ears. Speaking of Super Duty, with heavy-duty performance that's built for getting the job done right, it's no wonder this truck has Albertans singing its praises. The 2024 Ford Super Duty is available now at your Alberta Ford dealer. Just head on in today and tell them PB sent you.
Be a savvy Edmonton hotel shopper. Book through Edmonton'sBestHotels.com and receive up to $225 in cash rewards. There are over 55 member hotels to choose from, offering their best value rates. Edmonton'sBestHotels.com. Rewards with every booking.
This is the Rogers postgame show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Straight to our inside the game analyst, Rob Brown. Rob, Oilers lose 6-2. Can you assess a game like this when you got a number 1 goalie for one team and he played pretty well, and your organizational number 3 goaltender? I don't know. I mean, I'm in the building. I thought 3 of the 6 probably like to have a second shot at your assessment.
Well, yeah, I think you can assess it. I think in the second period, the Oilers were by far the better team. Yeah. They came out of the period down by 2, and that was just on the backs of 2 goaltenders. One had a poor second period, and one had a great second period. But in the third period, I didn't think the Oilers played very well in the third period. I thought the Kraken, and I know that you talked about it early in the period, you said the Kraken have got their feet going this period. Dan Biles probably would have talked to them, and they did. They were by far. So that is where I'm assessing. I'm not assessing in the second period when the Oilers dominated. They give up 5 shots and 4 of them go in. But I am assessing a third period that the Oilers didn't look as good. And Seattle was the better of the 2 teams in the third period. So it was an assessment. I thought there were some good things.
All right.
But
point them out.
Pardon me?
Who'd you like?
I think Arvidsson's been good in the 2 games that I've seen him playing with Leon. I think he's created. I think he keeps plays alive. He's a smart player. He finds himself getting open. They had the one really nice shift, but still not a lot of them. I think there's still a work in progress. And then Noah Philp was good again.
You thought Philp was good again?
Yeah, he was good again. And again, if hockey was fair, and it ain't, if hockey was fair, he would be playing on October the 9th. I don't know if he is, and he's probably going to start in the minors because of contracts, but he was good.
Jack. Oh, he's having some fun with us here. All right, Rob, Vancouver. So one of the theories is, well, maybe, if you get another look-see at Philp, but if it is a dress rehearsal, you want Derek Ryan in between Pucols and Perry. That was the plan at the start of the year. You keep the other three lines together. What do you do on defense?
Well, first of all, I would not be against putting Philp in again. I mean, and I heard what you said where Derek Ryan, you know exactly where you're getting with Derek Ryan, and Derek Ryan doesn't need a dress rehearsal to play with Perry and Pucols. And he is enough of a professional that you could put Philp in to see what Philp can do, and I probably would do that. Give Ryan the night off. He's earned it. On defense, it's weird that it was Dermott playing with Nurse tonight, not Emerson.
Me too. I thought the same thing.
I was really shocked by that. And again, Dermott was good. I mean, he played fine. He did get beat wide late in the game, but he was fine. If Emerson's your guy, and Nurse is just coming back, I think you'd want to see him. But to me, it's telling me you're not completely sold on Emerson, and you're seeing if Dermott's a better option. And that's what I look from the outside looking in. I'd have Stetcher in. I really think he's earned a spot to play with Kulak.
You'd play him ahead of Brown, eh?
Yeah, 100%.
You guys are going to be taking calls and texts on Brown tonight.
100%. And Stetcher has outplayed him in this preseason, and good on Stetcher. Seriously, good on him. The problem for Stetcher is he's not a 6'5" defender that penalty kills, and that's what they were hoping for in Brown, and Stetcher's just outplayed him.
Great stuff, Rob.
Sounds good, Bob.
Smart Play of the Night's brought to you by Catelli Smart Pasta, all natural ingredients. It's a smart move for your next meal. Look for the box the next time you shop, and we'll give it to Victor Arvidsson, who did some good penalty killing tonight and helped create the 2-2 goal. This is Rogers Postgame Show, Oilers Radio Network.
Blue-collar work deserves big dollar perks. Get a heavy wallet with heavy metal equipment and rentals. Heavy metal equipment and rentals is hiring heavy equipment technicians, maintenance supervisors, PM servicemen, maintenance coordinators, and pretty much every other position that makes Alberta go. We help move the earth that makes Alberta grow. So why not work for a company that makes your bank account grow too? Visit heavymetalequipment.ca to find your new career. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals, helping you move the earth.
When it comes to your new home, nothing should stop you from getting exactly what you want. Coventry Homes puts your needs front and center. They won't deke past your questions about customization, and making changes won't get you sent to the penalty box. With their customizable designs and flexible options, your game-changing home is within reach. Score big with flexibility. By Coventry Homes, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers.
MIC is a leader in medical imaging and the official medical imaging provider to the Edmonton Oilers. Make MIC your choice. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, the game doesn't stop for injury. MIC's sports medicine imaging specialists can help you get back in the game with a timely and expert diagnosis. Go where the pros go. For a location near you, visit mic.ca.
You're tuned in to the Rogers Postgame Show on the official voice of the Edmonton Oilers, 630 CHED, and on the Oilers Radio Network.
Welcome back, Rogers Postgame Show, Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth out of town, Scoreboard Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. Here we go. The Florida Panthers knocked off Tampa Bay 2-1 in overtime tonight. Elsewhere, it was Nashville 6-4 over Carolina. The Jets beat the Flames by a score of 5-2, and Anaheim 5-2 victory over Utah. Here at Climate Pledge Arena, 2-2 midway through the second, but the Kraken pull away 6-2 victory. Edmonton Oil Kings open up on return action Friday night in Brandon. This is the Rogers Postgame Show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Score big with the unmatched purity of Clearwater Vodka, the perfect companion for Oilers fans. Crafted with the pristine waters of Alberta, it's a sip of local excellence. Clearwater Vodka, where the spirit of the game meets true Alberta quality. Must be 18 plus. Please drink responsibly.
When was the last time your electricity and natural gas provider made you feel like this? Low rates, no strings attached, year-round perks, and local energy experts who always have your back with Encore by Epcor. Find that carefree energy feeling at encore.epcor.com/carefree.
Customers are free to purchase natural gas or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822 toll-free.
Score big with the unmatched purity of Clearwater Vodka, the perfect companion for Oilers fans. Crafted with the pristine waters of Alberta, it's a sip of local excellence. Clearwater Vodka, where the spirit of the game meets true Alberta quality. Must be 18 plus. Please drink responsibly.
Let's go to the 3 stars brought to you by Molson, the official beer of the Edmonton Oilers. Whether it's Canadian, Ultra Export, or Excel, there's a Molson with your name on it. Must be of legal drinking age. All Seattle Kraken tonight. 3rd star, Philip Grubauer. He made 29 saves. Brandon Montour, a goal and assist. He's tonight's 2nd star. And Shane Wright, 4th overall pick of the draft a couple years ago. He's tonight's 1st star with a pair of goals. Rogers postgame shows heard following each of our NHL broadcasts. Oilers close out their lengthy preseason Friday night in Vancouver. For my play-by-play partners this season, Jack Michaels, Cam Moon, Rob Brown, Brent Griffiths, Brendan Escott, studio producers, Eamon Hashem, along with Kellen Kennedy and Angie Quinnell, and our engineer here tonight. Yes, it was absolutely a great job in Seattle. No question by my man. Blue Wade did a super job today. So long, everybody.